Sports Talk it is.
Your hosts, Tony Gwynn Jr.
First, whoa!
I threw everybody off with that one.
Whoa!
Sorry.
What just happened?
And Chris Ello.
I think he's kind of a mouth.
Oh my gosh! What does that mean?
He just says a bunch of stuff that I don't agree with.
All right,
A mouth.
I'm gonna move on from this as fast as possible.
Number 2. It's time to get you up to speed on all things sports. Yes! With plenty of nonsense in between.
Oh look! Here comes our fearless producer.
Gwynn and Chris starts right now on 97.3 The Fan.
Welcome in on this Tuesday afternoon on Gwynn and Chris. Tony Gwynn Jr. Matt Scraby is back in the building.
Oh,
And the merry hijinks
you
will follow.
I was about to say, you will quickly learn that that means whatever smoothness you have experienced in the last couple of days, out the window. Back to chaos we go, which might be our comfort zone, I must say. Scraby,
Yeah, I was a little
welcome
uncomfortable
back,
the
buddy.
last few days. Adam Klug was running such a tight ship. I wasn't prepared for that.
he is on top of it. I gotta say.
Yeah, so.
It is nerve-wracking when you're doing a show with your boss in the room because, like, you say something and then you look over and he's like, maybe like cringing or something. You're like, oh man, maybe I shouldn't have said that. It's very awkward. But Adam's great.
Adam did a great job.
I just
but
walked myself into a circle to put my foot in my mouth.
We're happy to have Uncle Scraby back.
Why do you keep calling me
Because you
Uncle
you
Scraby?
posted a picture of yourself with your sister's new baby.
Yep,
and,
my
You
nephew.
look very uncle-like in that
Thank
photo.
you. I am full-blown uncle for
Yeah,
sure.
you're a good uncle. So,
Yes. I shared a bathroom
Full-blown
with
uncle, he calls himself.
I shared a bathroom on vacation with my 10-year-old niece and 8-year-old niece, and it is
Sorry for them.
yeah, right.
They have so many different hair products. I've never seen so many different hair products for a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old in my life. It was crazy.
Interesting. I would not have expected that.
Well, we're happy to have you back
Thanks,
there,
thanks,
Scrabe.
thanks.
Welcome back. Padres get a thrilling walk-off victory yesterday, and what perhaps was one of their, if not their best comeback this season so far. I mean, down 5-1 in the fifth. They responded immediately with 5 runs of their own to take the take the lead, and then after the Mets were able to kind of claw it back, the Padres were able to find a way to get some more runs of their own. Walk-off fashion, Elias Diaz with the single to left brings in the game winner, and the Padres take game 1. They snap the win streak. What was it, 7?
Yeah.
10?
7 in a row that they had won.
7 in a row.
Is, this is what we're talking about. This team, on the first glance, seems to have a lot of warts. But the one thing that they've had all year is the ability to buckle down and gut out victories. I mean, this is their 23rd win by 1 run. That leads baseball. And you're right, Tony, and I think I'm right, and everyone in the stadium was right. As soon as the ball by Vientos cleared the fence and there was grand slam and Dylan Cease exits, you're like, okay, that's it for Dylan Cease, but that's also the end of this game. We're not coming back from 5-1. We never score. Well, guess what? The Mets do have a bad bullpen, so let's state that up front. But, the Padres got the first 5 of those runs against the starter, Montes. So they went right to work. It was really impressive. And here's the thing that sticks out to me more than anything. First of all, I'm happy for Elias Diaz. He's taken nothing but, heat all year long. The fan base, I'm sure himself, he knows he's a former All-Star. I know he wants to be having a better season. I'm so happy for him to come up with that, a 2-out hit and the whole thing. So good for him. But the thing that stood out to me, Tony, was they're down 5-3. Arise hits the 2-run homer. And then with 2 outs, you got a guy or 2 on base, and you've got 7, 8, 9 coming up. And what has happened all year with 7, 8, 9? It's like, automatic outs. Not last night. Cronenworth, RBI. Johnson, RBI. Diaz, RBI. And now you're leading 6-5. That is the very definition of a team and everybody chipping in. And look, they get a great win. That's a great win, no doubt.
That was, that's why, I thought the Padres, they gave themselves a chance. I'll even go before that. Padres in the second inning.
Okay.
They don't score in this inning. However, they set it up so that they could get a run back. Remember, they tied it in the third.
Right.
And that happened because with 2 outs in the second, Jay Cronenworth walked, and Bryce Johnson gets that infield single. That forced Maldonado to the plate. He ends up punching out. But you got the top of the lineup coming up the following
next inning. That
and
works, yeah. Right.
That ends up leading. Manny gets hit by the pitch. He comes around to score. If Johnson doesn't get the hit, it's a small thing, but it moved the line so that you could have the top of the lineup in the third. They tied the game up there. And from there, they kind of set themselves up at that point. The last guy who made the out in the third was Sheets. So that left 7, 8, 9 in the fourth. They go 1, 2, 3. And then what do you have in the fifth? You got the top of the lineup once again. 1, 2, 3. And they just proceeded to hit around, I think 10 guys
batters, 10, 11 batters. Look,
yeah,
Tony, I mean, this is not a team any of us recognize the last 2 games, right? They've had 29 hits combined. They've also
we recognize them. We just haven't seen them in a couple of months.
We haven't seen them do this. They also had 6 hits with runners in scoring position on Sunday. They had 7 last night, and they had 31 at bats the last 2 games with runners in scoring position. That's a lot of traffic. You don't even have to be good at hitting with runners in scoring position if you get that many chances, but they have been good. Look, this was great. I loved it. The bullpen, did its thing again. I thought, Suarez would just finish it off there and it'd be another one of these, 4 horsemen games. But look, you throw enough 100-mile-an-hour fastballs to big league hitters, somebody can get one. And the nice thing is they just came right back out and won the game. So look, they're playing immediately after a 4-game losing streak, 3-game win streak. And this has been the secret sauce for them all year, Tony. They find a way to bounce right back just when you're about ready to give up the ship. So I think
that truly is their real secret sauce, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the sauce that has given them success over the last 2 seasons. They've had this kind of, we're not gonna fold. Like, we're gonna keep fighting. Even if we lose this game, we're gonna keep fighting you. And I think in the midst of watching a relatively inconsistent offense, that gets lost. That even in some of those games that they lost, they always keep playing. They don't ever just fold the 10 in. And last night was just I think a good example of it. But it just feels like this is starting to turn offensively. You've been seeing, I think you mentioned it, Chris, last week before we ended the show. 4 out of those 10 games, the Padres scored 7 or more runs?
That's right. And now another one last night, yeah.
Now you add this one to the mix. That may be the sign that we've been looking for. The fact that they've been able to put up multiple crooked numbers. You just hope they can continue it for sure.
You gotta, and I mean, it's almost laughable to say, where are the Xander Bogaerts haters now? Because it's now been a month and a half. A month and a half. The guy's got the best batting average in all of baseball during that time. 375. 3 more hits last night. Machado has the best batting average in the National League at the moment because Will Smith doesn't have enough at-bats to qualify.
Still?
Well, he's right there, but he needs he's 1 or 2 more. So for the moment, officially, Manny at 302 is the NL leader. And Arise has snapped out of it since the All-Star break.
He had 2 more last night.
You know what? I heard a rumor this morning, and we keep hearing them. I think AJ Preller said he's not going to trade for anybody now. He's good. I'm joking.
Oh man, the phone lines just lit up.
I thought it'd scare the hell out of everybody out there. But
do you think? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Do you think that Dylan Cease was pitching like his job with the Padres was on the line? Because I don't think he wants to get traded.
I think he's just
wait, time out. He's pitching like his job was on the line.
Yeah.
Basically, like if he throws a lights out game, they keep him. He doesn't. They decide to trade. I know it doesn't work that easy.
Well, we talked about it yesterday. I don't know what we should have rooted for last night, because if he threw a lights out game, maybe the teams would want him even more.
I'm about to say it's damn if he throws well.
Yeah.
It could make you leave, but it could also be like sweeten the pot for somebody. Like
Right.
so.
He pitched
just
like
out
he's
there
pitched.
pitching.
He pitched like he's pitched all season. Unfortunately for him, 9 strikeouts. I mean, he was dominating when he was on, and
Yep.
then he would just get off, and you walk the bases loaded, and you get behind a big league hitter 3-1. You got no choice. You got to come in there. You can't walk in the run, and there it goes. So again, it's been like that for him.
That is very. I mean, I think it's almost identical to how you've seen him pitch throughout the year. And so, I don't know. It's clear that he is a piece that teams are coveting. Ken Rosenthal just dropped a big-time article just on that story alone. Dylan Cease has become a prime target specifically for the Astros. So we'll get into some of that on the other side. The crew is back together on this Tuesday afternoon. Game 2, Mets, Padres, 6:40 tonight. We'll discuss more on the other side. More Gwynn and Chris. Hey.
in the air to right field. That's well struck. Fernando's going back. He is at the wall. He leaps up, and he had it, and he dropped it, and the umpires will say it's an out. What a play by Fernando. Went up and took a home run away from Vientos. And one down here in the bottom of the fourth inning.
Yeah, almost forgotten. In the comeback last night, another web gem, as it were, by a Padre outfielder. I don't know if you're keeping track, Tony. You are a former home run stealer yourself. That's at least 3 or 4 that I remember, like in the last couple of weeks. Guys going up over the wall and grabbing
from our outfield. Is that what
from our guys? Yeah, they're doing it.
Yeah, no, we've definitely had some highway robberies out there, and that one was most impressive because he didn't have a running start. He got there and like kind of had to just do a straight vert jump, and boy, athletic. It's alien is probably a better term.
Fernando has a little athletic ability. By the way, Tony, I didn't ask you about it yesterday, but Jose Iglesias' backhand flip running toward right field on Sunday. You know, these are things that we don't appreciate probably enough, but I love stuff like that. And, you know, Iglesias has been giving us that kind of stuff with the hands all year long.
That was ridiculous. Just like they around the back. I'm just going to roll this just to give Crone a chance to pick it up. Like it was he's a magician.
He is. And Sam Levitt asked him about it before the game yesterday, and he kind of just shook his head.
Like, that's what he does.
Right. This is pretty normal. I mean, he wasn't arrogant about it. He was just saying, I mean, I practice, I work hard, I have, you know.
Right. I expect to make that kind of play.
I expect to do stuff like that. All right, we got a bunch of stuff coming up.
Real quick before we get into that.
Yeah.
Yesterday, we lost another baseball great and Ryne Sandberg. It messed me up pretty good yesterday. I wasn't expecting. I found out Rick Sutcliffe had some people up, and he was kind of talking to us, and he kind of broke the news. And it was just he had already known, I think. So he said it like it when he said it just like took a little bit to compute.
Yeah.
Before, and you know, it kind of messed up my broadcast a little bit. I won't lie. I was struggling with it throughout the day, and I just wanted to share this, and I shared it a little bit with Jesse yesterday. You know, I got the privilege to play for Ryne when I was in Philly in 2014, which also happened to coincide with like one of the tougher years for me because of my father and his dealing with him being sick at that time. And he just seemed to understand what was going on and really kind of handled me in a way that allowed me to just be able to focus on baseball, but also not be afraid to, you know, have emotions on my sleeve because of what I was dealing with. And I couldn't have had a better manager for me specifically at that time. And I'm very grateful. So it was tough for me because to see him suffer the same fate ultimately that my dad did was just jarring to hear. We had seen him earlier this year in Chicago. He was out
and he was doing better, right? And then I heard that he had a reoccurrence of the cancer a month or two ago,
and that happened so fast.
And then
from the time they announced the reoccurrence part,
man. So it's
this
so
was
awful.
Really sudden,
right, Tony? I mean, we all find out, you know, on our way. I was actually, you know, just sitting down to look at my phone last night and saw Barry Bloom write about it on Facebook. And when I first read it, the way it was presented was that his cancer had come back and he wasn't doing well. So I was really disappointed. And then I read further, and then my heart dropped. Ryne Sandberg, to me, has always been linked to your dad in a weird way in my mind, but maybe to whatever. But in 1984, that was your dad's coming out party. And that was the Padres, and that was the Cubs. And the MVP that year was Ryne Sandberg. And the moment that I'll never forget, I'm sure you won't, was the final game when your dad smoked that shot up the middle, and Sandberg, who was as good a second baseman as ever, it was just hit too hard. He just couldn't get it, and it whisked by him, right? And Tony got the win.
It was a ground ball that my dad ultimately got a triple on.
Unbelievable hit.
Because it was hit so hard. But Yeah, no, they have ultimately been tied together
Yeah.
for a very long time, and that was that.
I get
That
choked
would
up.
hit me pretty
I get a
good
little
yesterday,
choked up
for sure.
thinking about it, and I did last night. And I as I wrote today, this is happening way too much, just
For
in
real.
all walks of life. But in baseball, too, this is the 20th Hall of Famer we've lost since COVID. That is not very long time. And it just, Tony, you're a little younger than me, Scraby, but feels like just kind of a lot of the fun parts of my baseball, being a fan, are, disappearing like this. And it really hits every time.
First off,
for sure.
you're not just a tad older than me, so.
Right. I'm a tad. All right. Whatever. You're such a schmo. Look, we're like in the most serious moment of the show, and you're like, worried about that.
No,
I'm not gonna lie. I appreciate you changing it up because I was starting to get emotional.
teary, yeah.
So
That's
I
what I'm
appreciate
great
the
at.
laugh.
I'm great at. I'm the guy who walks into a funeral telling a joke so everybody laughs. But as a kid, I didn't know much about him, but I definitely knew his name. I even had a mitt that was a Ryne Sandberg mitt, and so that's why I was always.
Pretty much every kid that's named Ryan, they got their name from Ryne Sandberg. Like that was like the first.
The only one
real,
I know. Yeah. Right.
right. So like
I kept
whether
getting his name wrong though.
Stanek last night
Ryan.
or Ryan Nelson, these guys are they have the influence. That's how kind of where he kind of player Sandberg was.
And if you're able to make kind of a link to it, Andre Dawson of the Cubs was the MVP 3 years after Sandberg. And he said today that part of himself died with Ryne Sandberg. Andre Dawson was completely choked up, could not even really speak. This is a big loss for baseball, but even bigger for the city of Chicago and Cubs fans everywhere. Ryne Sandberg is I don't know that he's to your dad's level, but he's pretty close to it. Maybe Ernie Banks will always be Mr. Cub, but Ryne Sandberg is right there.
Certainly as a human being, he was. I can tell you that for sure.
You know who else was a great human being? Ernie Banks. And, there was a really nice post today by somebody of Ernie Banks welcoming Ryne Sandberg with open arms through the gates of heaven.
Oh, wow.
It was quite emotional.
That is tough.
Yeah.
It was. But, that's what it means to a lot of people today. So I definitely wanted to talk about it, Tony. And we do have Buster Olney coming up in about 15 minutes. And I know he will want to speak a little bit on the life and times of Ryne Sandberg. Couple of quick notes because everybody wants to know about the trade deadline. There was one trade just made a little while ago, and it's a bit interesting.
Sir Anthony
Dominguez, the old right-hander. It's going from the Orioles to the Blue Jays. But in a sense, Tony, he's just picking up his gear, walking down the hallway, and going over to the other locker room. Those two teams are playing each other today in a doubleheader, and they're between games right now. So
basically he gets to put his stress off for at least 3 days. But after that, he's still gonna have to move all his stuff from Baltimore to wherever he's going. So
true.
Enjoy your 3-day hiatus of not having to worry about it. But it's gonna end shortly.
That was the one trade that's been made today. The Orioles beat the Blue Jays in the first game 16-4 and tied a major league record in that game with 5 sacrifice flies, which means nothing to anyone other than people like me who keep track of stuff like that. I bet you Jesse will like that stat. I don't know why. It just seems like that might be
What was the stat again?
The Orioles tied a record with 5 sacrifice flies.
The Orioles tied the record
you're
with
telling
5
him now
sack
to see
flies
if he-
today.
any
Yeah, I'm telling
reaction?
Jesse now to see if no
Anything?
reaction. No.
Even Jesse. is
Even
like,
Jesse thinks
that is
that's
a dorky
ridiculous and
stat.
stupid. Yeah, that's fair. I get it.
We need you for those reasons though, because I would have never known.
Nobody would ever know that.
I would have never known.
And nobody would care, evidently.
That stat line was it was a little bonkers.
Eugenio Suarez.
Wait, hold up. Jesse's got some chiming in here.
he's got a little
So wait,
something. Okay.
I just want to make sure I got it right for the broadcast later.
Yeah.
So the Orioles in game 1 of their doubleheader today had 5 sacrifice flies.
And remember, Jesse, the sacrifice fly was not put into play until the late 40s.
Right.
So
It counted against you as an at bat. until the
used
40s.
to.
So a lot of those old school batting averages would have actually been higher.
Yeah.
And the story that goes with that, Jesse, is that Ted Williams in his 406 season would have hit 413 had they given him sacrifice flies. So, yes.
That's right. That's part of the reason they changed it. But that was the record is 5, huh?
5 was the record. They had 5.
I would have guessed more.
And me too.
Yeah,
I would have guessed
can
more.
see that.
Yeah.
I can see that, especially in the olden days.
Yeah.
Back in the early 1900s.
Thanks for the early 1900s.
They didn't have it in 1900, Tony. They didn't have the sacrifice
there you
fly.
go.
So we just
Come on, Tony.
Hey, Jesse, thanks for feigning interest. I appreciate it.
No. It's in range of my kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay.
I think the
It's good
best
to know.
stat that
It's
Jesse
notable.
It
Good to know.
had to sit on him a little bit because when I first said it, he didn't really react. And then he thought about it.
It doesn't do much for me, but it's like good to be aware of it, I would say.
Yeah. It's
So
not the
the
end of
best
world.
stat that Jesse's ever delivered for stat of the game was when Yu Darvish pitched to Martin Maldonado, and they were born on the same day of the same year in 2 different spots in the world. That is incredible.
See, people remember that. That's crazy.
That's a good one.
That was a really
And
good
it was
one.
only like the whatever time that had happened with a pitcher.
That is the kind of thing that people look to you for, Jesse,
Yes.
not sacrifice fly statistics. So.
Thank you, Jesse.
Good enough.
Thank you,
Anytime,
guys.
you're always welcome to pop
Yes,
on there.
please.
Jesse out there, of course, at the ballpark with Tony. They're in the booth. Tony will have the call a little bit later on. We're going to take a break, step aside. Buster Olney will join us. We'll see what he's hearing on the Major League Baseball trade deadline rumors. Also, and I don't know if we're going to have enough time, but I do want to hear from him on Sandberg. I'm also curious what he thinks of Bryce Harper nearly punching out Rob Manfred. So we'll hear from Buster.
I love that everybody is locked in on that, and the particular part of Manfred firing back. I'm not going to get the F out of this locker room. That was the exact quote that was
It was
in
like
the
this.
story.
Bryce, I'm not going to get the F out of this locker room.
I bet you he was backing up as he said it.
Yeah,
too.
I mean, Rob Manfred, I've seen the guy. He is not an intimidating presence. I would assume that Bryce Harper was very scary in that moment.
I'd be shaking a little. All right, more Gwynn and Chris coming up. Good show underway.
Gwynn and Chris on the Fan.
Do you know how many
Yeah.
times in a span
gondola
of 15
pulls in.
minutes,
Yeah.
it goes very slow,
Yeah, it slows down
like
for everybody.
really slow. As we're getting off, over to my left, there's a couple getting in the gondola,
Okay.
going up the mountain. So it's the opposite for them. They're standing there. The gondola comes up. The door opens. You step on. Well, there was a commotion.
Uh-oh.
There was a commotion.
Someone fell.
There was a commotion, and Lori goes, "Hey, there's a commotion."
She said commotion.
I don't think she said that, but we go kind of not hustling, but walking over there quickly. There's a lady who has fallen as she's trying to get into the gondola. She's now got one leg in the gondola,
Oh, no.
the other leg and body trapped underneath the gondola.
90.
No, she's probably in her late 50s. How do I say this best?
Oh, she's heavy set.
She's in the shape of somebody who's in their 70s. You've got to rescue the poor lady. She's trapped under the gondola.
I'm sorry.
And of course, as soon as she falls and there's the commotion, the guy running the station stops the gondola,
Okay, I was going to
which means everybody on the mountain and 4 miles away has to stop. Everybody has to stop while we try to extricate the lady from the gondola.
Okay, let me
Or
ask you a
underneath
question.
the gondola.
Look.
She's got one leg on the gondola. The rest of her body is underneath the gondola. And when I arrive to see what's going on, I'm kind of the first or second person there.
You're a first responder?
Pretty much. The guy running the gondola place is busy stopping the
Traffic,
ride.
yeah.
No, he's stopping the ride.
Oh, okay, all right.
So we're kind of first there. Lori's behind me. The lady's on her back. She's looking straight up in the air. And the only description I have is one of utter panic and utter terror combined with total helplessness.
Oh, I thought you were going to say embarrassment.
No, total helplessness. She's not only trapped, but she's not even remotely doing anything to help herself. She's kind of in a panic, and you think something terrible is going to happen, or she does.
Okay.
I go over there. First thing, breathe.
That's what you said?
I told the lady to
That's
breathe.
Good. That's good.
I said, you're going to be okay.
That's good.
Just breathe.
That's good.
Try to relax.
That was the perfect thing you could have said.
As I'm stupidly pulling this 250-pound gondola, trying to pull it off of her. Yeah. Okay. Well, you're getting
the gondola is way heavier than 250 pounds.
Yeah, right. 1,000-pound gondola.
So you're trying to like move the gondola.
Just move it a little.
Is her leg like? How is she attached to this gondola?
Well, I told you her one leg's actually on the gondola in the doorway.
Okay.
Then the rest of her body's underneath. What is stuck with her in the gondola is her belly, not her leg.
Oh no.
That's right. Okay.
No.
So I'm pulling. By the time finally a couple more people pull and we are able to get enough airway to get her to scramble out of there. And then she immediately stepped on the gondola to go take her ride up the mountain. And off she went.
This is
I felt like I saved her life. I really do. I honestly feel like I almost saved her life.
I kind of will credit you with this.
You know, she was. I think if I didn't tell her to breathe, I think she would have gone into some sort of shock or whatever you do.
No,
she was
you're
going
right.
into a
You're
panic, Scraby.
You're
She was going into
right.
an absolute panic, and you know, I had to calming her down. I think was the number one thing. She wasn't in any real danger, but she wasn't feeling great because she was trapped under the gondola.
But
the
fact that you said her belly was
yes, her belly. Yeah, I'm telling you, Scrabe, it was a factor. And there was, you know, there's a couple of people pulling on an arm trying to drag her out.
I'm crying.
I know. There's people on the other side with her arm. They're trying to drag her. I'm like lifting the gondola so she can get a little room to get out of there.
You're like, hey, I'm going to take the gondola. It's lighter.
All right. I didn't say that. You did. But it was quite the scene.
I am happy that she's okay, obviously.
She's fine.
If
she
this
got
was
right on the gondola.
If this was a worse story, I would not be laughing. But she's fine. You did probably help her a lot more than you think you did.
I think so. Because she was able to calm down just a tad. The gondola pulls in.
Yeah.
It goes very slow.
Yeah, it slows down
like
for everybody.
Really slow. As we're getting off, over to my left, there's a couple getting in the gondola.
Okay.
Going up the mountain. So it's the opposite for them. They're standing there. The gondola comes up. The door opens. You step on. Well, there was a commotion.
Uh-oh.
There was a commotion.
Someone fell?
There was a commotion, and Lori goes, hey, there's a commotion.
She said commotion?
I don't think she said that, but we go kind of not hustling, but walking over there quickly. There's a lady who has fallen as she's trying to get into the gondola. She's now got one leg in the gondola.
Oh, no!
The other leg and body.
.235 on the clock. Tony Jr., Chris Ello, Matt Scraby, hanging with you. Buster Olney will join us shortly. Talk a little bit about this upcoming deadline. Get his thoughts on the passing of Ryne Sandberg. I'll also get his thoughts on the Harper-Manfred showdown in the Philadelphia Phillies locker room.
Heavyweight bout.
Heavyweight bout. Yeah, exactly. We'll get to a little bit of it all. Of course, Ken Rosenthal reporting that the Astros are fresh on the tail of Dylan Cease and perhaps wanting to acquire him. They have been depleted by injuries to that starting rotation. I'm just trying to rack my brain on who the Padres would be getting in return.
Well, I'll take Yordan Alvarez. Is he healthy yet?
You said Yordan.
I might even take.
I heard Fromber earlier. Like,
yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't think those two guys are coming back with any package.
I don't either.
That's going out there. But you start to look at their roster, right, and you're trying to figure out you don't know who their prospects are, who are the close ones. And then you look at their big league roster, who can they give that can help? And it's hard to find the matches there.
It's fine. Left field isn't, jump out of you. Jose Altuve has been playing left field. I don't know that he's going to be included in anything. Chas McCormick, does he Cooper Hummel? I mean, these are your left fielders for the Taylor Trammell is an outfielder. We've had him already. So, yeah, I don't know that the Astros make sense as a fit.
Maybe
but
if indeed this is a move that they are entertaining, maybe it's a move to acquire some prospects to then flip to get
maybe
someone else in.
Or we could always get Josh Hader for Scraby and all the Hader fans out there.
Why did I just get thrown
I don't
under
know.
the bus?
Because you're in my sight lines, I guess.
Okay. all
Yeah,
right,
you're next to him, so it was
Fair
easy
enough.
to pick on you there. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see kind of how this all kind of shakes out. Obviously, I'll just read you some of the excerpts out of the story. Jim Crane, fancy star power. San Diego Padres right-hander Dylan Cease is one of the biggest stars available in the trade market. He goes on to say, Cease 29 would stabilize the Astros injury-depleted rotation for the rest of the season. He'll join Hunter Brown, Framber Valdez to give the team a potential dominant 3. Where else does he say on here? Names under consideration. Oh, nope, that's not it. But for Crane, an owner who traded twice for Justin Verlander and once for Zach Greinke, has tried to acquire Blake Snell and Josh Hader from the Padres during the 2023 deadline. See, Shirley is a more interesting target than some of the other names that I skipped over there. It doesn't really give who the names are in terms of coming back.
Yeah. I'm looking at one of the prospects here, Jacob Melton, who's a left-handed hitting left fielder. He is up, has been up a little bit this year with 32 at bats for the Astros, but a slugger, and he's kind of their second-rated left fielder or outfielder or second-rated prospect. But I don't know that the Padres want prospect unless you said they're going to be flip it somewhere else. So,
well, let's talk to somebody who knows way more about this type of stuff than we do. Let's go to Buster Olney, our friend of the show, ESPN. You see him often on the sidelines. Buster, how are you, man? Thanks for coming on today.
My head is spinning. What day is it? What century is it? Me get it motivated. Reminds me of being back in college, and you're studying for a final exam, and your head just full of facts and figures and names and all kinds of things. And as I'm saying this, I probably not an apt comparison because I didn't do well in college. I promise you.
Well, listen,
welcome to the club.
That makes a couple.
And we've all been incredibly successful. So there you go.
Buster, I mean, when do you think the first real domino will fall? Because it just seems like right now, I mean, the deadline's Thursday. We're 48 hours out. I mean, at what point do you think the first big domino falls?
Yeah, it's like if there was a poker game and every round, everybody around the table is going, check, check, check. Right? And that's the way it feels. I texted with an executive earlier today who's involved in the starting pitching market, and I asked him about a couple of guys, and he was like, it's a slow developing market. I think that, eventually there's going to be a barrage of deals. I mean, the dam is backed up. All of these contenders are looking for relief pitching. There's going to be a million of those, I think, that get traded between now and the deadline. I think the starting pitching market, eventually some of these teams that, are holding out hope that maybe the price comes down on Joe Ryan of the Twins, or maybe the price comes down on Dylan Cease. They will start to grab guys like Charlie Morton of the Baltimore Orioles, guys who are more like 3 and 4s versus guys who could start game 1, game 2 of the playoffs. I would not be surprised if later tonight we start to see that barrage, because at some point you got to get business done. The Orioles have 6 guys they want to trade. The Tampa Bay Rays might wind up trading 4 guys. The Diamondbacks, have 3-4 guys to go. So it's coming.
Buster Olney, of course, is with us, and we're giving him a rest so that he doesn't have to call a bunch of general managers for the next 15 minutes. Buster, you mentioned Cease. He's been wildly inconsistent this year, although the strikeouts are there. Yeah. Let's ask from the Padres' perspective, though. If they parted with Cease, and it does seem to be heating up, What do they do, or what do they need back, to make it make sense for a team that is still leading the wild card in the National League?
Yeah, major league controllable players.
Yeah.
Who can help them right away. I agree, Chris, with what you were just saying. You didn't know if the Padres are necessarily going for prospects. They're not. They're in a win-now window. They have an older team, generally speaking, with a rotation that's got to turn over in the next couple of years, and they need assets that can help them right now. They can't wait. And so, based on my conversations with other teams, what they're telling me is, and I'm just pulling names out of the air, okay? I'm not saying that the Padres are interested in these guys. Luis Angel Acuna of the Mets, Brett Beatty of the Mets, Mark Vientos of the Mets. Those type of guys who would be under team control for a few years. The issue with Cease is that while he is generally regarded as a high-end starting pitcher because he throws really hard, he misses bats. You guys know better than I do. It hasn't been a great year for him.
No,
he hasn't been dominant, and the perception of other teams is that the Padres want to get paid in return. We're looking for a return that reflects him as a frontline, number one type starter versus what we've seen this year, and that. And I think other teams are wondering if we get closer to the deadline, will the Padres blink and come down a little bit, or will there be a team that'll blink and say, yes, we're desperate because the starting pitching market is so thin. We're desperate to pay the Padres what they're looking for. But they're looking for guys who can help them this year.
Yeah, it's going to be so interesting, especially from that standpoint, because the other thing that Dylan Cease does is he pitches every fifth day. This dude is one of the top innings eaters in all of baseball.
Yep.
Not throwing the ball that great this year, but certainly has some other attributes that is like. Buster Olney joins us here. And Buster, what about a team like the Atlanta Braves? I mean, Alex Fantabulous said earlier, maybe about a month ago, that this team would not sell under any circumstance. And I took that with a caveat, and not sell maybe the core, but there's certainly some pieces that I would think that they are looking to possibly move. I mean, whether it be to the Padres or anybody for that matter.
Yeah, they're going to move a couple bullpen guys before the deadline. Raisel Iglesias will wind up landing with another team in this a game of musical chairs with relievers among the contenders. But a guy, that I think makes some sense on paper for the Padres is Marcell Ozuna. Okay, he was an MVP candidate in 2024. There's a perception among scouts that maybe he hurt his hip early in the year. He hasn't been as good. He's got a really high watt rate, but he hasn't done as much damage. And right after the All-Star break, Brian Snitker, the manager of the Braves, who's always, basically based his lineup choices on, who's hitting well and who's not, they benched Ozuna. And they're playing their two catchers, Sean Murphy and Drake Baldwin, sharing the catching spot with the DH spot, and that's what the future is. Ozuna's contract runs out at the end of this year. He's going to be a free agent. He's owed, as we speak, about $5.25 million for the rest of the year. I suspect that whether it's the Padres or some other team, the Braves would eat most of that money. Look, it's a sunk cost for them. They're not going to get anything in return. You basically could get Marcell Ozuna for free if you're comfortable with the lack of positional flexibility, which has become a big thing in baseball. That we're seeing it with the Yankees. Aaron Judge is hurt. He comes back as a DH. What does Giancarlo Stanton do? That can cause some problems. But if you're the Padres and you're looking for a guy who could give you some thump, and you don't necessarily want to give up a bunch of prospects, resources to get him, Ozuna is a really interesting name to me.
Buster Olney is with us. Buster, we got you on a day where a lot of other things are happening. So I'm going to take a little break from the trade deadline stuff because it's, as you said, it's all kind of guesswork at this point. But I think that story yesterday with Bryce Harper facing off against Rob Manfred is a big deal, because maybe it even translates all the way out to people thinking that there will be a work stoppage. I mean, the players, Bryce Harper said it. We are not even going to let you say the word salary cap. And we know that that's going to be on the other side. So talk a little bit about that, what that face-to-face confrontation kind of signals for everybody.
So first and foremost, I think it's great that Bryce Harper spoke up, and he spoke his truth to power. The union clearly needs more of that. Look, Anthony knows probably better than anyone. His dad didn't always have the warmest relationship with the union leadership, but when it came to labor stuff, he was absolutely out there and willing to say what he thought in support of the Players Association. And so I think it's good when Bryce Harper does this. I think that I will say, I think this is being misinterpreted to some degree. The notion that Bryce Harper is speaking on behalf of a wide swath of players. I think he's speaking on behalf of the Scott Boras clients and maybe some other guys. But personally, this whole issue really reminds me of the PED conversation back in the late 90s, okay? Mm-hmm. Where, the union leadership, Don Fehr, Gene Orza, just pounded the table. We're never going to have testing, privacy rights. The leaders among the players would scream the same thing when you talk to them. And then when you talk to individual players privately, they kind of whisper in your ear, you know what? We kind of need testing. Because they didn't want they didn't want to have to deal with that question. And in 2002, Joe Girardi, Todd Zeile, other guys told Fehr and Orza, look, we need testing. And here we are. This thing that the union leadership said would never happen, that's where we are. And now, with a salary cap, you get a Bryce Harper saying what he said. Max Scherzer probably feels the same way. When I talk to individual players, rank and file, you get a lot of, hey, wait a second. If this means more money for more players, why don't we talk about it? And why don't we get some information on it? I personally think, and today I've spent a lot of time talking with people on the union side saying, look, what would you read on what Bryce said? And a lot of people are saying the union leadership needs to educate itself on what a salary cap would look like, because they need to articulate to the players why they don't want it, because there are going to be a ton of guys whose perspective is, if we can make more money for more guys, why not talk about it? To stand on principle right now, I think it's a really dangerous, it's a dangerous thing for the union leadership to stand on. So many of the stories today were saying Bryce, reflects the perspective of the union. And my response is, no, he reflects the perspective of the union leadership, which is very different than the rank and file.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's no doubt. This is kind of the divide and conquer. The PED thing, it lines up very similar, right? Because guys who were using, guys who weren't, felt like they had an advantage. So that's why there was a divide in that in terms of why we should get tested, because the guys at the top are the guys who were using, they were the ones benefiting from it. And so you try to even the playing field. This one is a little bit more tricky because the younger guys come in and they may not be as educated on salary caps and how it all works. And I think Buster's spot on. Like, the union really wants to kind of, poke a hole in this balloon that Rob Manfred is trying. They would be best served trying to educate this young group of players. Buster, I got to ask you something about one of the news that broke yesterday, which, really hit me kind of hard. Ryne Sandberg, we lose him yesterday. He had been fighting, been dealing with cancer. He had it had gone in remission and it returned back. And it wasn't that long after it returned that he ends up passing away. I mean, what can you tell us? What can you say about Ryne Sandberg, the player, as well as the person?
So he was, and this is lost because he didn't have, a 15 to 18, 20-year period of dominance the way that a Willie Mays or a Henry Aaron did. There was about a decade in baseball where he was the best player. And in some respects, his career Mike Trout's career might wind up mirroring Ryne Sandberg, where when you talk to guys from that era, they will tell you, man, that guy was dominant. He was a, gold glove second baseman, steady, doing damage as a middle infielder, putting up big numbers every year. And so he was absolutely an impact player. And that's somewhat lost because of the fact that his career was curtailed by injuries. And then he was just so respected within the sport, which is why, his Hall of Fame speech, when he, this is someone who he didn't like veer toward microphones. He wasn't like the most quotable player during his time. He's relatively understated, relatively quiet. So when he in his Hall of Fame speech basically stood up there on the podium and said he came out against PD users and was really strong about it. It got people's attention because it came from Ryne Sandberg. It's interesting. I think that, we only recently saw the Cubs reuniting with Sammy Sosa. And I think a lot of that was out of respect for Ryne Sandberg because of what Sandberg said at the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. We're losing too many of these guys. It's been a bad stretch. I think it was about 20 guys since COVID, Buster. And every time it happens, man, I just feel like a little piece of my, glory days of baseball kind of leave. It's hard to hear these stories. I don't know what you can do.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt. And it, and he was one of those guys that, it seemed like really enjoyed the Hall of Fame. It's one of the things that I really thought was great this year was the fact that Ichiro, it looks like he's going to be the guy who takes the torch from Johnny Bench at some point. I mean, the fact that Ichiro was going to the Hall of Fame, he even 2006, 2007 on his own, just going there because he loved baseball, and he's gone back there multiple times, long before he got in the Hall of Fame. He will be one of the standard bearers going forward. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Buster, appreciate your time, man. As always, love having you on. We'll catch up again after the break.
All right. I always love talking to you guys.
Appreciate you, Buster.
Appreciate it. Buster Olney, ESPN. I meant to say after the deadline, not after the break, but, either way.
Yeah, he's going to be on a
sounds like
305 today. Buster Olney will be our guest. Surprise.
What did I just miss?
No, he was joking that he said, we'll talk to you after the break. And so I was saying he's going to be on at 305.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Good one, Chris.
Thank you.
It sounds like there's going to be a ton of movement. I think this is good for baseball if there's a bunch of moves right at, the last 48 hours of the deadline. We often have
trade deadline just gets everybody excited. I mean,
we often have complained that there's not enough movement. It doesn't seem like that's going to be the case.
No, it's our nature to embrace something new. Even if if we lost Dylan Cease in a trade, but we got Charlie Morton, we'd go, all right, we got Charlie Morton.
I don't know about that one.
Well,
hey, I
look at Charlie Morton. He won again today.
Scraby,
sorry, Tony, he's 7-1 in his last 8 games.
Don't poo-poo Charlie Morton, because you know who else you poo-pooed last year? Martin Perez. And then he came over here and he didn't pitch in the postseason, but until we got through the regular season, he was awesome. So if we get another one of those, we'll take him.
I completely forgot about Martin Perez.
Yeah, I know. Those cats, the unsung heroes, just kind of go away. You forget about it, but he was terrific the whole last 2 months of the season for the Padres. All right, let's get to break. 3 o'clock hour on the other side. Are we doing a little Daily Gambit?
I don't think so. I got a few other things. I want to save the Daily Gambit for after.
Later.
Yeah, I got stuff I got to get to you about, Tony.
All right, sounds good. More Gwynn and Chris on the other side.
Standing.
Scraby, Uncle Scraby, he's back after a little hiatus. Odyssey Palace Studios. Tony Gwynn Jr. is down at Petco Park, where tonight, Game 2, Padres and the Metropolitans. Don't forget, first 40,000 fans tonight will receive a sandless beach towel. You can use it as a blanket. It's been, it's still getting chilly at night, so it'd be a good night to get the blanket, I think. Make sure you get there early, or early enough to be one of the 40,000 that get the giveaway item. Gates open an hour and a half before the 6:40 first pitch. That first pitch will be thrown by Ryan Bergert. Tony, I'm going to say this in jest, but if he doesn't get traded before then, his name has been mentioned quite a bit as somebody.
For good reason.
Another team might be interested. So he'll pitch tonight unless something happens. Sean Manaea, guy that we're all pretty familiar with. If this isn't Sean Manaea's fault, Tony, he didn't do this on purpose or anything. But I always kind of just have a bit of a negative on Sean Manaea, because the 1 year in the big leagues that he hasn't been Sean Manaea was the year he was here. He's been really good the rest of the time. He was really good with Oakland. He's been really good with the Mets. But the Padres, 4.96 ERA in 2022. He'll make the start tonight. after he missed most of the season due to injury. I think it's only his third start of the year, fourth game of the year tonight for Manaea.
I have to ask why Tony was slowly shaking his head back and forth.
Yeah, why were you slow?
Because
I didn't see you.
I wasn't really shaking about it. I was just kind of thinking out loud in my head.
Well, I'm being a
Chris-
fan. I'm
Chris
being a
often-
fanboy when I say that. I am.
Well, no, it's not even that you're being a fan, but Chris often hates players. Hates a strong word. Dislikes players that don't perform for the Padres the 1 year here, a la Juan Soto, a la
Well, Soto performed
Manaea.
better than Manaea did. Be honest with you.
No, he definitely did.
Yeah.
Manaea
was-
also said that he didn't try as hard here. So I think
That's not what he was meaning, Scrape. Stop it. You know that.
we've been over this before. I've
Yes,
looked up,
he
I've
wasn't
played the
saying,
audio.
I'm not.
Uh-oh.
I can't with
Let's
you,
go
too.
over it again.
can't.
I kind of want to hear
Oh
this.
no, now I gotta go find it again.
No, don't find the audio. All right, look, Manaea pitched tonight. Did Soto get any reaction when he came to the plate last night, Tony?
Every time he got booed,
He did get booed.
mercifully. Yes.
Mercifully. That's because people
All-
listen. That's because people listen to this show. That's why. They want to. They.
No, I think,
Why did?
I
Well,
think
why
people-
don't? Why doesn't everybody else like him? You should
I
like
just
him.
think he's
He led you to the
easy
playoffs.
hate. He's
Yeah.
easy to hate. He's confident. He's
Yeah.
really good. And probably the thing that pisses everybody off more than anything else
Yeah,
is he makes a ton of money.
a ton
so-
of money.
He makes a ton of money.
Mhm.
He's confident, bordering on arrogant,
Yeah,
and he's really good. Those are usually things that make people hate
make
you.
people hate you. All right. Well, he'll be back tonight. Manaea will be back. If you want to hate him, you can mix it up tonight as the Padres and Mets get together.
Couple moves real quick I can inform you guys
Yes,
on
sir.
as I
Yeah.
wait for the lineup to pop.
Mhm.
Stephen Kolek optioned for Burgert, who will make the start tonight.
Okay.
In the other side over there, Brazoban, the young man who came in and gave it up for the Mets
Oh,
yesterday.
Beelzebub is what I kept calling him last night. Barbacoa. I kept getting his name wrong.
My goodness.
Barbacoa, huh? That's what you came up with?
What's his actual name?
Brazoban.
It's Waskar Brazoban.
Yes.
He's definitely in the Harry Potter universe for sure.
Anyway, he was sent out, option to AAA after the game. Chris Davinsky signed a 1-year major league deal with the Mets, so he'll be in that bullpen tonight.
Very good, Tony. I wanted to, well, first of all, we should also get your thoughts too. Michael King threw that sim game yesterday, and that was a big deal. I mean, that was almost as big a deal as the Padres winning the game last night. To have, King go out, throw well, come back, report that he felt 100% out there, and says, he feels anyway like he's on track to get back, here in the next couple of weeks, early in August. I mean, I know that there are going to be some trades between now and Thursday, but you're not going to get a bigger pickup than Michael King coming back.
No, I 100% agree. This is like a deadline move, especially if he's going to come first week of August. So I think, listen, I may have been alone in this. I'm not sure. I haven't really asked or had the conversation with anybody, but I've always expected him to come back at some point. Didn't really put a timeline on it because I knew we were dealing with something that was unusual. And so here we are, fast forward to however many months later, throwing a live sim game, reported feeling 100%. You got to think if it's barring a setback, it's just an uphill it's all gravy from here.
I hope so. That's a big deal for the Padres, and we'll keep an eye on it if we hear anything more, but everything good.
I think he's on when a guy goes out and throws like he threw yesterday and then reports that he's feeling good and they allow him to report that, I think everything is moving in the right direction.
Yes, very good. All right, so Burger tonight, that puts Darvish back to tomorrow. And I thought Buster Olney, who always has, informative things with us in our interview, interesting on his note that Bryce Harper attacking, or at least, getting in the face of the commissioner, is speaking for maybe Bryce Harper and other really rich players a whole lot more than he's speaking for everybody in Major League Baseball. So I wanted to get a little further into your thoughts on that, Tony. And, Rob Manfred is, according to an Instagram post that just came down, this is why he's going around to all these teams. He wants to try to talk to the rank and file, and he's trying to get the word across that maybe this is going to have to be the way it goes, despite the protests of people like Bryce Harper. I mean, is that right, or what do you think?
I think there's a difference between wanting to talk to the rank and file and wanting to talk to guys who are uninformed.
Okay.
Because they're not always one and the same.
Yeah.
And I do think Buster's on to something, that the way for the union to spearhead this effort is to get out in front and talk about it. And so, we listen to Foul Territory quite often. AJ Przinsky and those guys were talking about it. I think we have the sound kind of pointing out kind of what they think is kind of behind Rob Manfred and his attempts here.
Rob Manfred is trying to get to the informed players. He's getting to the uninformed players, and he's getting to the people who Major League Baseball are calling up. 52% of the league has less than 3 years of service. Of the guys with more than 3 years of service, 52% of them never make it to free agency. So that whole group, that's who he's talking about. The guys that make it to free agency, he's not talking to them. He's talking to the majority in the clubhouses. So he's bringing those guys in and being like, hey, guy with a year of service, just coming in here to talk about how we can make you guys more money. And that guy's like, sure, I can use more money.
Rob doesn't do anything by accident. It's almost like with the owners and the players. Why can't we just get to the middle? And everyone says we want to grow the game. We do, but why can't we get it together? Instead, it's like, we got to do this, right? Like, why can't we just meet in the middle somewhere?
And so that speaks to a lot of what I think Rob Manfred is trying to do. But, and here's where, I just think that, and I don't know, maybe I need to talk to some of the younger guys to see how much they actually do know. But it appears as if they aren't being given the information that is necessary, which is why I think Rob Manfred thinks he sees an opening there. But
okay,
the flip side of that is often, and we talked about this a little bit yesterday, both sides have to be willing to show what they have in their hands. For a long time, one side has not been willing to show what they have on their side, and because of that, this is years and years now. This is going back to 70s, 80s. Because of that, there's like a built-in distrust between the players.
Yes, there's always that.
The owners.
Yeah.
Not to mention, they've already been hit over the head in court for collusion once before. So all of that stuff is thrown into the pot as you are trying to get to some mid ground there for both sides. We're 2 years out. Just having been around for a lot of these things, there ain't going to be no negotiations until basically there's a lockout. That's typically how these things work. There may be some discussions before that, but nothing really gets done. And Chris, maybe you can speak to a time before I was around. Nothing really gets done until that move is made first.
Never seen it happen. Never seen it happen. I get this came just in. And I don't want to go too quick because, Scrape, look at this.
What in the world
come over
is
here.
happening?
Well, come over here and look at this and tell me whether you think I should mention it. Oh, no, never mind. Never mind.
No, I gotta see it.
No, don't look at it. I didn't see. I saw something I thought I didn't see. Never mind. I'm glad I didn't say
this
it.
This is why it's good to have partners right there.
Well, there was a word that I didn't see, and I thought it said there was a trade made. It was a mock trade idea, and I didn't see that.
So over mock trade season.
No kidding, man. Trade. Stop with those. Yeah.
So over mock trade.
I'm just glad I didn't say it because I would have had people driving off the road, and that wouldn't.
I think mock trades should not be allowed to be put into publications once we're on the week of the trade.
I agree.
When everything could actually happen.
I got a DM from someone while I was on the trip, and it was like, should the Padres do this? And it was the Padres get Adley Rutschman, but they give up like a number 8. Number like 25 prospect and a number 40 prospect. I'm like, it's not going to happen. And if it does, it's going to make me look like an idiot, but I'll accept it. But it's not going to happen.
You'll step out on that ledge.
I will step out on the ledge that Adley Rutschman is going to go for two guys that are in the Arizona Fall League. It's just not going to happen, guys.
Jaron Duran coming to the Padres. What do they got to give up for him? Do you think?
You're not asking me.
Well, I can tell you what it's not. I can tell you what they're not going to give up to get
I
it,
guess Dylan
according to
Cease.
reports.
Yeah. If they didn't want Dylan Cease and Ethan Salas, I don't think we're getting Jaron Duran. So anyway, well, all right. It's all going to play out over the next couple of weeks. Tony, I know you got to roll. I'll see you down at the game tonight. I'm going to pop in, say hello. Enjoy the rest of it. We'll have Tony back for a Big Five later and more Gwynn and Chris coming up after traffic.
Bye, guys.
From the 855, get Ross.
For our Big Five right now, headed down to talk to Mike Schilt, get the latest and the greatest. Padres, Mets tonight, 97.3 The Fans coverage, MLB trade deadline, brought to you by Palomar Health. I almost had a heart attack there a few minutes ago when I said, oh, well, look, I'm going to, no, thank goodness I didn't report that trade because it hadn't happened.
You going to share it with us?
No.
Okay.
Champions of healthcare, that is Palomar Health. They are champions for you. No, I thought it said that the trade has been made. I missed the word mock trade. Good thing I didn't just blab it out. But everybody wants to, be the first with a trade thing right now. And what'd you say? It's gotcha season.
It's gotcha season.
It really is. So you got to be careful. We'll let you know if the Padres, do pull the trigger, or if anybody for that man. That might. In fact, you know what? I'm not going to use that term anymore.
What?
I just decided. In the wake of the shooting in Manhattan yesterday at the NFL offices, I think the term pull the trigger ought to be taken off the board for a while.
What?
Just do.
What makes this one different?
I don't know. Pull the trigger. I think, guys are, I don't know.
I actually had this conversation on my vacation.
Real that
not
exact phrase
that was brought up, but
Okay.
it was like, why can't we use expressions like that without being offended? Because
I didn't say I'm
everybody
offended.
pull the trigger. Everybody knows what pull the trigger means in the application that we're using it.
I know they do, but I'm not saying I'm offended by it. I'm just saying I think I can choose my words more wisely.
Okay, that's fine.
That's all.
That's.
I'm not saying
good.
I'm offended.
Okay,
You want to say it? Go ahead.
All
I
right.
just made a deal with myself there
I gotcha.
that I'm going to try not to use that phrase
That's definitely different.
in the wake of what we saw yesterday and what we keep seeing, unfortunately. And if you didn't hear, the gunman there in New York, according to the mayor, said that the gunman was indeed targeting the NFL offices and took the wrong elevator and ended up on a different floor. But
Wait, say that one more time. I haven't
you not
heard
hear
it.
any of
No,
this? Where have you
I
been?
saw it while I was driving yesterday.
okay, there was a gunman yesterday in Manhattan.
Yes,
he went
I
into
knew
a
all
building,
this. I knew it was the NFL headquarters.
He
Didn't know
killed
anything
4
else.
people
Oh
and
my
then killed
gosh.
himself.
Oh my gosh.
And the investigators now are saying that the guy who did this was trying to get to the NFL offices, but ended up on the wrong elevator. And so he went to a different floor. He couldn't get to the NFL offices. And fortunately for that, there's no good fortune here at all. 4 people died, but he obviously never got to the NFL offices.
I would think they're
There's
little
more
bit
to this story, but
protected.
I'm sure they are. In fact, I saw Coy Wire is his name. He played for the Bills back in the day. He's now a reporter at CNN. He said he's been to the NFL offices. He says it's almost impossible
I would
for
assume.
somebody to get in.
I would assume so. Do we
But-
know why this person did this, and
We
why
know,
they just decided to shoot a random office
We
instead
know-
of his target?
Yes, I'll tell you. Well, he didn't shoot the people he killed. I think 3 of the 4 were down in the lobby when he walked in the
Oh
building.
my goodness.
He went up to the wrong floor. I think he shot somebody up there once he realized. Then he shot himself.
Ugh.
There was a note, and he said that he said he was sorry. He said,
What? Okay.
let me finish.
I know. I'm sorry.
All right. Get all this and then
I'm turning off
comment.
my microphone.
All right. He said that he was sorry. He said he asked that his brain be studied for CTE. He's only 27 years old. He said that he was upset with the NFL because they have been doing their best to hide the fact that the NFL leads to CTE. I'm not
Okay.
Okay. So I'm not saying what he, no one's going to say what he did was right. People like to understand what's going through these people's mind. He had mental health issues. All right.
And I do sympathize
And-
with that.
He did. And he's, the NFL always has denied the link between CTE and football. And this guy, I guess, was fed up with it. That's all I can tell you.
Okay, I mean, I feel for what he was going through in his head, but I cannot feel for the people that are just randomly going to work. And this guy, like, you're sorry, but yeah, I know there's no breaking down this statement. It's just really sad all the way around. But
yeah, when they start showing the pictures of the people on TV today who were shot senselessly and killed, definitely hits the mark. I mean, these are real people. These aren't just These aren't just 4 people who were killed. They're people that had families, sons, daughters, wives, husbands.
See, and I know I'm reasoning with someone who can't be reasoned with, but there's so many different ways to go about this other than just going to the NFL offices and shooting random people. Like,
he had there was a 3-page note found in his wallet.
Well, at least there was some explanation, I guess. You kind of know what the motivation was, but it doesn't make anything better.
This young man, 27 years old, played apparently high school football in California a decade ago. Never played in the NFL. Has had a history of mental illness. That's the whole. Anyway, I spent more time on this than I intended to, but I guess this is where when I'm reading this and it's right in front of me on the screen and I'm seeing the pictures of people who died, I'm saying to myself, why am I using the phrase pull the trigger? I just don't think it was appropriate at this moment.
Okay. I agree with it.
All right. If the Padres make a trade, we'll let you know.
With all that said, if the Padres make a trade, we'll let you know.
Yeah. Daily Gambit. I was the only one who picked yesterday, Scrabe, but I went 5-1-1. Had a good day. So let's get a couple of quick picks in right here before the bottom of the hour. Sorry, I didn't. I know. We're
Hold
going
on.
to Daily Gambit.
Let's just go into it because I deleted it, so I have to go find it.
All right, Mets 8.5 runs. Padres.
Mets.
I didn't read that very well.
That was like caveman talk.
Yeah, the 8.5 runs total over under for the game tonight. Last night there was 13 scored. What you got?
Sean Manaea is going to give up about 5 runs. I'm going to go over.
You're going to go over. I'm just going to go with the odds and say under, although I'm happy to see the Padres starting to score. Manaea over under 4.5 strikeouts. Say under. I bad-mouthed him a little earlier. I'm going to stay with this.
Yeah, I'm going to go under 2.
Okay. Who has more total bases tonight? Juan Soto or the red blazing hot Manny Machado? Manny had 2 total bases last night. Soto had none.
I got to say, I thought it was quite hilarious when he argued the first at bat, but the second time was he definitely should have argued that because it was way too high of a pitch for
that umpire was bad.
Yeah, that was bad.
Night.
I didn't mind him getting into it in the second one, but I was sitting there watching with someone. We're like, why aren't you throwing him out? He has done this twice now. Why are you letting him get away with murder over here?
I think
that was a bad phrase, by the way.
Right, bad phrase, bad
Very
timing.
bad phrase.
Yeah, I think the umpire realized that it was just a terrible call. He couldn't throw Soto out.
He just let him do it.
Yeah, he's like, that was bad. You're right to argue.
I'm going to go Manny Machado.
I got to stick with the red-hot NL batting leader. Manny, 6 consecutive games of 2 or more hits. Dodgers minus 1.5 at Reds. Adam and I argued about this last night, so I'll get your thoughts.
What? Wow.
Well, here's the argument. Dodgers are 5 ahead of the Padres, but Padres are 2 ahead of the Reds for the wild card. I said last night I was rooting for the Dodgers. Adam said that's horrible. That's blasphemous. But I want to get into the playoffs more than anything else, so I need the Reds to lose.
I get your thought process.
Okay.
My thought process is it's going to be really hard to hang on to that last wild card spot because there's 4 teams that are vying for 2 division titles. And so if the Dodgers lose, that gets them closer to the division. So I would
You're
cheer
still
for
going to
the
root
Reds.
against the Dodgers.
Yes. I'm going to cheer for the Reds because if the Padres can get a little bit closer in the division, maybe the division's within reach. But I was looking at the standings last night. It is just backed up with good teams at the top of the National League right now.
Okay, the Padres are 4 games behind the Dodgers. They're also 2.5 behind the Phillies, which is the next wild card team. So, as it sits now, the last wild card is what they're going to get. And I want to stay ahead of the Reds. All right, who are you picking here after all that? Reds plus 1.5?
Yeah, I'm going to go Reds.
I'm going to take the Reds, too. I think they're the bet tonight because Lodolo's pitching. He's been great.
Mm-hmm.
Shohei, 2.5. Over-under, runs, hits, RBIs. I'm going to say over. Shohei's been on fire just like Machado has been. 2.5 runs, hits, plus RBIs.
Yeah, he's so good.
He's on fire right now.
He's just
But if he hits a
good.
home run, that would be enough. That'd be one of each, so he'd have 3.
That is what do they call it, a bandbox?
Cincy? Yeah, it is.
I'm going to go over.
Over. All right, a little WNBA tonight. Las Vegas -2 at the Sparks up in L.A. Sparks are playing a little better. They're up to 11-14. Las Vegas slumping at 13-13. I'll take the Sparks at home, getting 2 points.
When's Cameron? I know Cameron
think
Brink
tonight.
was okay.
I think tonight.
She was cleared.
Yes, but I don't know for sure.
Side note: we're going to talk about Happy Gilmore 2 in the Big Five. Kelsey Plum cameo.
Did she? Good.
Yeah.
She's going to get a mention in a minute. Who you picking?
I'm
Sparks?
gonna go Sparks.
Sparks. All right. Asia Wilson -5 or Kelsey Plum points in that game. Asia
-5
plays for
is a
Las
lot.
Vegas. Plum plays for the Sparks. Who you going, Asia or Plum?
-5 is a lot. I'm going to go Plum.
Plum +5. I'm going to go Kelsey for sure. I always go for my pal Terry Bamford and La Jolla Country Day people. Angel Reese, 12.5 rebounds for Chicago tonight. That is her season average. She's returning from injury. So she'll be
limited.
No, I think she'll get a lot more knee bounds than she normally does. That's what they call it when
I
Angel
know.
Reese throws it up there and grabs it.
It is a pretty brilliant.
It's kind of
name.
funny, yeah.
I'm going to go under.
Under for Angel. Okay, we'll take a break. When we return, oh, wow, Fantabulous Sports Game Show.
Does Tony know what happened last time?
We'll inform him. Tony, I mentioned he's coming back for the Big Five. He's also back for the Fantabulous, which is coming right up. It should be a fun one on Gwynn and Chris. I guess we got a lineup. Let's get to it. Gwynn and Chris, Padres, Mets. Looks very similar to last night's, Scrabe.
Why not?
Yeah, good lineup last night. Although Gavin Sheets not in the lineup tonight, not starting. Jose Iglesias will be in the 6th spot. And Iglesias is playing third base tonight, which gives Manny a night off his feet. Manny will be the DH. Otherwise, the same. Tatis, Arise, Machado, Merrill, Bogarts, Iglesias, Cronenworth, Bryce Johnson. By the way, he's hitting 363 or something.
You know, we talked about him a couple weeks ago, and we're like, you know, he's doing well, but he's
Really
not a
well.
game changer. But last night he was.
Yeah, he's not a game changer. That's a good way to put it. But, man, if he gets a hit every time up,
Yeah.
that doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
Diaz, last night's hero, is batting 9th. All right, Tony's ready to roll. Last 2 weeks, Scraby took on a listener in the Fantabulous game show, but Tony Gwynn Jr. has returned to try to reclaim his spot as Fantabulous game show champion. After traffic, he'll get that chance.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
This game day traffic report is brought to you by Crystal Geyser, Alpine Spring Water. Got a few problems here, guys. One is this collision on South 163 just past Mesa College. Got a couple vehicles over to the right shoulder. Also collision on eastbound King Freeway right at the South 805 connector ramp. Westbound 8 before Mission Center reports of some furniture in the 2 right lanes. And in North County, clearing a crash over the right shoulder. Westbound 78 before Vista Village. What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? They always bottle their Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source. And all of their bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from their own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Hey, all you beautiful people out there, it's time to play one of our favorite games of the week.
All right.
We like to call it
Ooh, I'm gonna go.
Chris's Fantabulous Sports Game Show.
And it starts right now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, welcome into the Fantabulous Sports Game Show. Tony, while you were out traveling last couple of weeks, don't know if you were aware, but we had a guest players come on, listeners, played against Scraby in the Fantabulous Sports Game Show. 2 weeks ago, Scraby was able to eke out a win. Last week, he lost to John in Murrieta, the former John in Temecula. Yeah, so John in Murrieta is currently the champion right now.
Yeah.
So he is the champ of the Fantabulous Sports Game Show, but you guys will get the title back, one of you today. And I had to make a concession for today's category, but I was willing to do it for the good of the game. And what we're going to do today, guys, is we are going to celebrate the 17 greatest single-season performances in Padre history.
Oh, gosh.
And we're going to do that by asking you guys in today's category to name the 17 different Padre players who have had a 6+ season in the WAR category.
Oh, my goodness.
And that is the concession for me because, you know, I don't even like the WAR category. But according to WAR, these are the 6 greatest single seasons. I'm sorry, the 17 greatest single season performances. Now, 16 guys have done it once, and one Padre had 3 6+ WAR seasons. You probably can guess who that one is. But we're going to go back and forth, and you guys are going to try to name the 17 greatest Padre single season performances. And I'm going to tell you right off the bat, there's only a couple of them that are really out there.
Just hitters or pitchers involved?
Pitchers, hitters, anybody with a 6+ WAR. And I'll give you one more quick thing. If you want to make this note, there's one first baseman. There's one second baseman. There's one guy who played shortstop. There are 4 third basemen. There are 3 outfielders. And there are 7 pitchers. And all 7 are starting pitchers.
No catchers?
No catchers, and no relief pitchers.
Just mark that one off.
So you can put out Trevor Hoffman.
Oh, just mark that one off, too.
No matter what Trevor ever did, he never had a 6.0
Wow,
WAR.
that's crazy.
Yeah. So there's the category today.
All right.
Scrape, you want to go first or let Tony go first? You got to get to 9 to win.
I'll just go first.
Go ahead, Scrape.
Sorry, Tony. I'm going to take your dad.
Take your dad. Take him off the board. He's the only one who did it more than once. He did it in 1984, 1986, and Tony's greatest season, according to WAR, was the 1987 season, believe it or not. He had an 8.6 WAR that year, which is pretty darn good. Hit 370 that season. Andre Dawson ended up winning the MVP award that year. And if you're wondering out there, in Tony's 394 season, his WAR was only 4.2. So somebody please explain to me.
It was a short season, maybe?
Maybe because it was a shorter season, but yeah, that's crazy to me. All right, Tony, you're up as Scraby gets on the board. A great Padres season.
I got a good strategy for this.
All right.
Tony's going to mop the floor with me.
Well, we'll see.
I know I'm a little deeper than Scraby is. So I'm going to go ahead and take Toddy off the board.
Fernando
He's
Tatis,
playing the game.
Fernando Tatis Jr. did it in 2021. He had a 6.6 that year. That was the year he led the league in home runs with 42. He finished third in the MVP balloting to Bryce Harper and Juan Soto. All right, so we are tied at 1. Scraby, give me a player with a 6+ WAR.
Manny Machado.
Manny Machado did it only once, but he did do it in 2022. 6.8 that year. That was the year he finished second in the MVP voting to Paul Goldschmidt. So Scraby has 2, Tony has 1, and it is Tony's turn. Tony, who you got?
Blake Snell.
Blake Snell.
He's taking all the guys I actually know.
That's what he's trying to do, it seems like. Blake Snell is the last Padre to reach a 6.0 WAR. 2023, his Cy Young season, he was a 6.5. The amazing thing that I'll never forget about that season for Blake Snell, the first and only guy to win the Cy Young and lead the league in walks with 99. That still boggles my mind that he was able to do that. All right, we're tied.
Strikeouts and walks.
Right, let in strikeouts and walks. You're right, Tony.
Yep.
All right, 2-2. No strikes yet. 13 correct answers. Padres with a 6+ WAR season.
I'm going to go back in time a little
bit. All right.
If I could turn back time to Kevin Brown.
Kevin Brown. That's a great guess.
I hate when he says that.
Well,
he's looking through his list.
No, because
Baby, how you know this one, dude?
Well, because 1998, everybody calls him the Bulldog.
I'm suspicious of you, buddy.
Everybody calls him the Bulldog.
He blew it out that year. He had an 8.6, tying your dad for the greatest single season performance in Padre history.
We've talked about it on the roundtable many times.
Kevin Brown was dominant that year. 18-7, 2.38 ERA, and Scraby takes a 3-2 lead. The reason I couldn't find him is because I did my list differently, and I was looking for him. Tony, you're up.
Chase Headley.
Chase Headley's a good guess. Chase Headley's highest single season WAR was 3.9, except for 2012 when he was 6.4. Which made no sense. He led the league in RBIs that year with 115. That is correct. It also takes a third baseman off the board. I will also tell you, Fernando takes the shortstop off the board.
Oh, okay.
He's the only shortstop ever to do it because the year he did it, he was a shortstop.
Oh, man, you just fueled the move Fernando to shortstop, people.
Well, that's for them to do later on. All right, 3-3. Scraby, you're up with 11 correct answers left.
Adrian Gonzalez.
Very good, Scraby. You're holding
I was
your
alive
own there.
here in San Diego. For
6.9 in 2009. Had 119 walks that year for a 407 on base. What a season. And that takes your first baseman away. And it is now 4-3 Scraby. All right, Tony. With 10 correct answers remaining, Padres with a 6+ WAR season.
Jake Peavy.
Jake Peavy. Did he do it? He did in 2007. He won the Cy Young Award that year, so you would think he did it. 6.2. Had 19 wins and also led the league with 240 Ks. Jake Peavy is correct. There are 4 pitchers left, and there are 5 position players left. You got 9 correct answers to go with a 4-4 tie. Padres with a 6+ WAR season. Scraby, I'm impressed with you so far. Thought you'd
You
be
said
struggling.
5 position players. How many pitchers?
4 left. 4 pitchers, 5 position players right now.
I'm going to try to take the second baseman.
All right.
Mark Loretta.
Mark Loretta is the only second baseman who did it. He had exactly a 6.0
Right
in
on the nose.
2004. Loretta hit
Scraby, are you
335 that year.
No.
Scraby.
No.
Are you street?
Hey,
Are
guess
you
what?
cheating, Scraby?
Guess what, guys? I actually listened throughout the years of these names.
Oh, yeah, right.
We'll see.
I don't believe
Well,
it.
I mean,
Antennas.
just wait until we get to the end. I got nothing going on.
Well, you got the lead right now, 5-4.
I
Loretta.
can't believe you know this many.
Loretta, yeah, I'm a little surprised too. He's doing very well.
Thanks for admitting that you thought I was definitely
Well, you
gonna
said
lose this
at the
category.
beginning you were going to do terrible. 5-4. Tony looking again to tie it up with a Padre with a 6+ WAR season, and it is
Gary Sheffield.
yeah, Sheffield, 1992, with a brilliant year, led the league in batting that year, 330, finished third in the MVP balloting that year to Barry Bonds, and Terry Pendleton finished second ahead of Sheffield that year. That takes one of the third basemen. So here's what you have left. You have an outfielder, another outfielder, a third baseman, and then 4 pitchers. And they're all starters, remember that. And I will say, of the 7 remaining, there's no question that you've heard of at least 4 of them, maybe 5, maybe 6. There is one guy that I don't think anybody could get. So I'm just telling you in advance.
I already know who that one is.
All right, we'll see.
I'm trying to think of our party like it's 1998 segment.
1998.
all
Who
right,
you
it's my
got,
turn,
Scrape?
right?
You got tied at 5. You got 7 correct answers remaining. You're holding your own. No strikes yet. Padres with a 6+
I'm gonna go with
WAR
the
season.
I'm not going to try to be cute here. Randy Jones.
Randy Jones did it. Yes, very good, Scraby. Randy in 7.5 in his Cy Young season of 1975.
I'm feeling charged.
That is correct. Scraby, 6-5 lead. Holding together
This
here.
is where things fall apart. This is where things fall apart.
I'm shocked by this. There's 6 correct answers remaining. Padres with a 6+ WAR. Tony.
How
Guys
about
haven't
Dave
missed one
Winfield?
yet. Dave Winfield, very good. Yeah. Did you know that one, Scrape?
Yes, I got crossing it off the list.
Yeah, Dave Winfield was the first Padre ever to do it in 1979. It took 10 years for a Padre to do it, but Winfield had an 8.3 that year. He finished third in the MVP balloting to Willie Stargell and Keith Hernandez, who tied for the honor that year. Winfield, a great Padre indeed. So it is 6-6, 5 correct answers, 4 pitchers, and 1 position player is left.
All right, I'm going to go with the last Cy Young Award winner I can think of, Gaylord Perry.
Gaylord Perry won the Cy Young for the Padres in 1978. But as I just said, Dave Winfield in 1979 was the first Padre to do this.
Was not listening.
It was a great guess, though.
I was not listening.
I would have guessed it. I would have guessed Gaylord Perry, but he did not get a 6.0 that season. So that is the first strike on the board.
Wow,
Sorry about that, Scrape.
Fired on me.
Can you give me the rundown again of what's
Yes,
left?
I can.
What's
Okay, I made a quick mistake there. There are 3 starting pitchers left, and there's
I
one.
would have never guessed Gaylord Perry then.
Oh, if you'd have known, yeah. 3 starting pitchers, 1 third baseman, 1 outfielder. Tony in a 6-6 tie with 5 correct answers left. What you got, Tony?
Ken Caminiti.
Ken Caminiti, yeah. I'm surprised you didn't get that one, Scrape. MVP 1996 season.
That's pretty stupid.
He was incredible. The 7.6 that year. He had a 1028 OPS, which I don't believe has ever been topped by any Padre. And he was the MVP, and he was unanimous with all 28 votes that year. All right.
So no more
Tony?
third baseman.
No, there's 1 outfielder and 3 starting pitchers.
All right, gotta cross that one off.
1 outfielder, 3 starting pitchers. Scrape, I don't want to lean you in the wrong direction, but I think the outfielder is the only one of these you could get. I'd be shocked if you got any of the 3 pitchers. So don't guess a pitcher that's widely
I'm gonna guess the
commonplace.
outfielder.
All right, try the outfielder.
Ricky Henderson.
Oh, no. Ricky didn't do much. He wasn't that good when he was a Padre. That's incorrect.
It's all
Sorry,
falling
Scrape.
apart.
2 strikes on Scraby. Give the buzzer.
It's
There
all
you go.
falling apart.
All right, I'm pretty sure Tony knows the outfielder, and if he doesn't, I'd be surprised. He could also go with any of the 3 pitchers.
I'm gonna go with one of these pitchers.
All right, who
here.
you going with?
my favorite shirtless pitcher in the 80s, Mr. Ed Whitson.
Ed Whitson did do this, believe it or not. The smoking cigarette right-hander had a 7.0. Now, I thought if Ed Whitson did it, he would have done it in 84 when the Padres went to the World Series, but he did not.
90, wasn't it?
1990, he had a 7.0. That year he won 14 ball games. Ed Whitson somewhere is having a cigarette on a porch, and God love him, he made the list
Living
today.
his best life.
That makes it 8-6. Scraby, the only way you can win now is to get all three, the remaining answers. It's pretty unlikely.
I'm just
You
proud
might
I
be
got
able to get
this
the
point.
outfielder. I'm proud that you did this well. Give me the outfielder. Come on.
He said it's
the problem
pretty
is-
unlikely.
The problem is I don't know where some of these guys played in the field. I don't know if they were outfielders or infielders. And I
can be
should
tough.
know whether or not Greg Vaughn is an outfielder, but he hit 50 home runs. Go with him.
You're going with him, and that's a smart move, Scraby. That is correct.
Whoa!
Very good, Scrape.
I thought he was a third baseman.
No, he wasn't. He was an outfielder. 6.3 in his 50 home run season of 1998. He finished fourth in the MVP balloting that year. That was the year that Sosa and McGuire had their home run contest, and Moises Alou finished ahead of him as well. So it is 8-7. Tony can wrap it up here. There are two correct answers left. They're both pitchers. I'm pretty impressed already, Tony, that you got Ed Whitson. I'm going to be more impressed if you get one of these two.
Are you
and I'm gonna fall
referring
off
to
the
Dave Roberts?
Yeah, I'm going to
The
fall
same
off the
Dave
chair.
Roberts?
No, he's a
not
pitcher.
that Dave Roberts.
How did you know that? That is right. That wraps up the
Wow.
game. Dave Roberts.
I'm not offended that I lost this game.
You shouldn't be. I would have. There is no way on earth I would have guessed Dave Roberts, the left-handed pitcher, because I've never heard of him, and I've heard of everybody. As a matter of fact, when I saw the list, originally it said Dave Roberts, and I go, "No, that's not the Dodger manager."
Yeah.
I said, but the Padres had a young third baseman in the early 70s who was really good named Dave Roberts. And I thought, man, he must have had a better season than I thought. I looked him up. It wasn't him. So then I'm
How
like,
many Dave Roberts are there?
apparently there's at least three.
There's multiple.
In
The
1971.
funny thing is, I only knew this because how often you have been. Over the years, you have ranted about war.
Yes.
Yeah.
And going on the
Baseball Reference.
baseball reference, and you just kind of just playing around, and I saw Dave Roberts, and I was like, "Yo, what?
Yeah.
I don't remember Dave's year being that good." And then I clicked on the picture,
Right.
and it was a white guy. It was a left-handed pitcher, and
Yeah.
so it just kind of stuck with me for a long time. And I had kind of forgot about it, and then you were kind of giving Scraby, you were razzing him a little bit about. There's one guy that none of you guys, and then it came to me like, oh, I know who he's talking about. Boom.
That's who I was talking about. 1971 was the magic year for Dave Roberts. 14 wins, a 2.10 ERA. He finished sixth in the Cy Young balloting that year. Ferguson Jenkins, a Hall of Famer, won it. The only guy you didn't name doesn't mean you didn't know him. Tony, 1989 left-hander,
Mark Davis.
Bruce Hurst. Not Mark Davis, because, again, no relievers ever got a 6.0.
That's right. Bruce Hurst.
I was
Bruce
going to say
Hurst was the last
the
guy.
Raiders owner?
Al Davis?
No, Mark Davis.
Oh, Mark Davis.
I would have never gotten those. So
All right,
I'm-
good Fantabulous.
Good
Hope that brought
job,
back some
Tony.
good memories for the Padre fans. Chris versus the fans is next.
Padres, Mets.
All right, it's time for the Beaver Nuggets. So the story is somehow Buc-ee's got brought up. I think Frank brought it up.
Yes.
And it's a rest stop / mall /
Super.
entertainment zone, super center. And someone said on the chat yesterday that they have like 100. They went to one with like 100 gas pumps, which is a lot, I guess. But while we were talking about this, Sam Levitt was in New York listening, and he goes, "Put me on, put me on, put me on." And so we put him on, and he's talking about how much he loves Buc-ee's. And so we got into the conversation, and it ended up being about the Beaver Nuggets. And so I had to order them because I find the name Beaver Nuggets very gross. I find it gross. but we're going to go with this. It's kind of like a Cheeto / a corn pop.
It's like a cheese doodle.
A cheese doodle. And we're going to eat them right now. I don't think these are bad, but here we go. I like it. It tastes like a corn pop.
I was just saying it tastes like a waffle, really.
It does kind of taste like a waffle. You know what? I'm in. These are good.
Yeah, I'm not.
You want another one?
No, I don't want another one. But yeah, I mean, it tastes like a waffle, like a waffle with syrup on it.
It's pretty good. I gotta say, I'm not hating these at all. Actually, they're very good. I like this. The waffle is a perfect explanation. If you've ever had, I'm sorry, I'm talking on the microphone with food in my mouth. But if you've ever had a, what is it? A Lay's potato chip that's waffle flavor. It's kind of like that. Sad Fryer says, are they cheesy? No, they're not cheesy at all, actually. They're sweet.
No, it's like a hard waffle with syrup on it, with dried encrusted syrup on it.
Now, I don't exactly know what the puff is. It could be just fake something.
Most likely. I mean,
it's like caramel a little bit too. All right, I gotta stop eating these because I will eat the whole bag. I love these things. I'm gonna leave them here though because I will eat this if I go home. It's just gonna be a bunch of Beaver Nuggets in my bed as I sleepwalk or something like that. All right, it's time for the Beaver Nuggets. So the story is somehow Buc-ee's got brought up. I think Frank brought it up.
Yes.
And it's a rest stop / mall / entertainment zone, super center. And someone said on the chat yesterday that they have like 100. They went to one with like 100 gas pumps, which is a lot, I guess. But while we were talking about this, Sam Levitt was in New York listening, and he goes, "Put me on, put me on, put me on." And so we put him on, and he's talking about how much he loves Buc-ee's. And so we got into the conversation, and it ended up being about the Beaver Nuggets. And so I had to order them because I find the name Beaver Nuggets very gross. I find it gross. But we're going to go with this. It's kind of like a Cheeto / a corn pop.
It's like a cheese doodle.
A cheese doodle. And we're going to eat them right now. I don't think these are bad, but here we go. I like it. It tastes like a corn pop.
I was just saying it tastes like a waffle, really.
It does kind of taste like a waffle. You know what? I'm in. These are good.
Yeah, I'm not.
You want another one?
No, I don't want another one. But yeah, I mean, it tastes like a waffle, like a waffle with syrup on it.
It's pretty good. I gotta say, I'm not hating these at all. Actually, they're very good. I like this. The waffle is a perfect explanation. If you've ever had, I'm sorry, I'm talking on the microphone with food in my mouth. But if you've ever had a, what is it? A Lay's potato chip that's waffle flavor. It's kind of like that. Sad Fryer says, are they cheesy? No, they're not cheesy at all, actually. They're sweet.
No, it's like a hard waffle with syrup on it. With dried encrusted syrup on it.
Now, I don't exactly know what the puff is. It could be just fake something.
Most likely. I mean,
it's like caramel a little bit too. All right, I gotta stop eating these because I will eat the whole bag. I love these things. I'm gonna leave them here though because I will eat this if I go home. It's just gonna be a bunch of Beaver Nuggets in my bed as I sleepwalk or something like that. All right, it's time for the Beaver Nuggets. So the story is somehow Buc-ee's got brought up. I think
here, 4 o'clock hour. Crisello, Tony Gwynn Jr. down at Petco Park, where he is once again champion of the Fantabulous Sports Game Show. Dave Roberts is a ridiculous pull in the game show. Left-handed pitcher for the Padres in 1971 who had an insane WAR ratio.
And Tony just knew it.
He said he saw it somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Roberts in 1971 had the same WAR that Randy Jones had in 1975 when Randy had a 7.5 WAR.
By the way, I was notified that you got the Cy Young year wrong. For
I know. I'm looking it up. Yeah, I said Randy. The year Randy had his best WAR was 75, but he won the Cy Young in 76 when his WAR was 4.7. Go figure. I guess that WAR statistic is kind of stupid. Oh, yeah. I've said that before. Anyway, hope you enjoyed a little bit of a trip down Padre memory lane with our Fantabulous Sports Game Show today. We got a Chris versus the Fan for you here shortly. 833-288-0973 on the scoreboard. Today, Blue Jays beat the Orioles in the other way around. Orioles beat the Blue Jays, in the first game of a doubleheader, 16-4. The big news: the Orioles tied the all-time Major League record with, count 'em, 5 sacrifice flies.
They just showed Jackson Holliday's record
tying sacrifice fly. Was their celebration?
No, I don't think anybody had any idea.
Nobody even knew. Yeah, we told Jesse Agler earlier on the show, and even he didn't care too much, which is saying something. Also in that game, Charlie Morton was the winning pitcher. I mention it because his name has come up as a trade possibility. Charlie Morton has got 7-1 in his last 8 decisions. After a terrible start to the year, he's pitched well. Also between games, the Orioles traded Sir Anthony Dominguez, reliever, to the Blue Jays. So he walked across the field, and he's in a Blue Jay uniform for the second game of the doubleheader.
That's got to be
strange.
A somewhat complicated move because you're moving internationally.
Not today, he's not. He's just moving across the diamond. But yes, eventually he'll have to move internationally. Toronto leads the second game 1-0. Arizona's got an early 1-0 lead at Detroit. Detroit has stumbled badly here in the last few weeks. The story there, Corbin Carroll with his 14th triple of the year. Another stat that nobody seems to care much about, but he's closing in on Lance Johnson's modern-day record of 21 triples for the Mets in 1996. So triples and sacrifice flies, the big stories today in baseball. All right. Let's get to whatchamacallit. A little Chris versus...
that's a great bar, too. Chocolate bar. Whatchamacallit.
You like that?
Yeah.
Do you like the Almond Joy?
I love
Almond Joy. You do? Oh, we have to talk.
What?
I'll explain. In the next segment, we're going to talk about Almond Joy.
Okay.
And we're going to talk about what you somehow got a policeman to make your day. And I can't wait to hear this story because you guys out there are going to love this.
It was glorious.
First, though, we're going to play Chris versus the Fans.
If you had one shot, one opportunity to take down the human almanac himself,
howdy do.
Now is your time.
Listen to me, this guy is dangerous.
Now is your opportunity to win a prize.
Well, I hope you know what you're in for.
Chris versus the Fans starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
By the way, when I say Lance Johnson has the modern-day triple record, he has the most triples in a season over the last 80 years. So I want to make that official.
I mean, that's a long time.
Yeah. If you look at the all-time triples record, all the guys who hold it played before like 1950. But since then, Lance Johnson's the record holder.
We were joking in the break that they had so many triples because there was no like fences on some of these parks until like
the ball would just roll
feet.
and roll and roll. Yeah. The actual, if anybody cares, the actual triple record for one season is 36. Guy did it back in 1912. But yeah, I think the alignment of the park was probably a little different.
A little bit different, but 14 is very impressive.
14's a lot. Okay.
We're playing for this, a qualification for a chance to win our grand prize, a 2-night stay at Park MGM Las Vegas, 2 tickets to Motley Crue on September 19th, and a $100 gas card. Catch Motley Crue's Las Vegas residency at Dolby Live at Park MGM September 12th through October 3rd. Tickets at Ticketmaster. The rules, you have to make it through 3 questions. Each question will get more difficult. If you get the question right, you move on. If you get it wrong and Chris gets it right, you're eliminated. But if Chris gets it wrong, then you move on to the next question or you win. If you're a first-time player, let us know because you'll get that first question for free today. Brandon on the chat says, Chris did a good job reading the rules without the script yesterday.
I did. I was called upon.
Wow. And you did it without a script? I can't even do that. And I read it every single day.
I know. Adam said he could do it without a script also because he's heard you say it so many times.
Really? I can't even do that. I guess I'm just...
You probably could. You just don't know you could.
Yeah, I always mess it up. That's why I have the script, so I don't mess it up. All right, let's go to our first contestant today.
I'm ready. Let's play ball.
Let's go with Lucas in Poway. Hello, Lucas.
All right.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Very good, Lucas. How are you?
Fantastic.
All right.
Have you ever? This is a question only I would ask. Lucas, have you ever seen the movie?
Yes, sir.
Lucas.
I sure have.
It's a pretty good movie, right? Way back in the day.
I gotta look this up now. Now you're sidetracking
It's a
the
cute
show.
story about a young kid named Lucas and kind of a coming of age story way back when.
Definitely.
A long time ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. Corey Haim maybe was in it.
Yes, Winona Ryder.
But
Carrie
they were kids.
Green,
They were all
Charlie
kids.
Sheen.
Yeah, they were all kids. It's a pretty good movie. All right.
Football flick.
What's that?
I said little football flick.
Yeah, there's a little football involved in it as
okay.
well. Yeah.
All
yeah,
right.
It's a pretty good movie. All right. I'm glad we mentioned
Lucas, I'm glad that you've seen the movie because I haven't.
it.
Here is the first question. Who was the hero and walked it off for the Padres last night?
It'll be Elias Diaz.
Elias Diaz is correct. Nice job. I was happy for him. He
Sure
seemed
you
very
were.
excited.
Sure you were.
I was.
You hate Elias Diaz.
I was. All right, I do not. You're the one complaining about the catching position all the time. All right, we're fighting. Question number 2. Over the weekend, rookie Nick Kurtz hit 4 home runs in 1 game. What team does he play for?
It'll be the Athletics.
The Athletics is correct.
He's the only rookie ever to do that, by the way.
8 RBIs. I think
That
he
was a
went
hell of a
6
game.
for 6.
Yeah. Earlier this year, of course, Suarez did it.
Yeah.
But, I believe 4 home run games are more rare than perfect games. There's been more perfect games thrown in the history.
That's something.
Than 4 home run games.
That is
That was
something.
quite the accomplishment by Mr. Kurtz.
Yeah, that is a huge accomplishment. The final one came off of a position player, but hey, it all counts, right?
Oh, yeah. Nobody will remember that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, Lucas, you're on to question number 3. You get this right or Chris gets it wrong, you're qualified for this trip to Las Vegas. Before Sandy Alcantara was a Marlin, what team signed him as an amateur player?
Wow, I like your chances here, Lucas.
Ooh.
I don't know this one, I don't think.
Let's say the White Sox.
He does seem like a White Sox at some point. Stay there, though. Stay there.
All right, so look, he was just signed and then discarded. This is silly. Did he actually pitch for this team in the big leagues?
No, not in the big leagues. No.
Oh, so he was just signed as somebody. Was he traded from this team at least as part of a deal?
Yes.
All right. That makes it. I'll give you a little.
He
thing.
was traded in 2017 to the Marlins.
To the Marlins.
And guess what? Oh, I can't say that. It's going to give it away.
No, don't give the rest of it away. I'll try the. I don't know why I seem to remember the Pirates for some stupid reason.
The Pirates.
Wow, Lucas, you're a winner.
Stay there, Lucas.
That's how the game goes. Yesterday we couldn't find a winner. Today we get it on the first try.
This is why I thought you may know, because Marcell Ozuna was traded from the Marlins to the Cardinals.
Cardinals? Nah.
Yeah,
no
Zach
idea.
Gallen was also traded from the Cardinals to the Marlins for Alcantara. So
Yeah.
It says traded by the St. Louis Cardinals with Daniel Castano, Zach Gallen, and Magneuris Sierra, which is a great name, to the Marlins for Marcell Ozuna. So I thought maybe you would.
So
remember
Alcantara and Zach Gallen both went from the Cardinals in the same trade?
In the same trade for Marcell Ozuna.
That didn't work out too well for the Birds de Rojo.
No, they had 2 ace pitchers.
Yeah.
But
all right, very good. Lucas, stay on the line. Winona Ryder somewhere is very proud. We'll take a break. I love Winona Ryder. When we come back, it'll be Scraby had a great story about, if you can believe it, the police actually did something that Scraby is ecstatic about. We'll also explain why Almond Joy is a big deal. More Gwynn and Chris headed your way after traffic.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic.
Gwynn Chris. Kind of a potpourri segment for you here. I get fixated on this stuff sometimes, Scred. Corbin Carroll tonight hit his 40th career triple. That's quite a few. It almost moves him into the top 10 among active players. He's 11th, which is a lot. He's only in his 4th season, and he's already 11th. Do you know who the active triple leader is in Major League Baseball? I'll give you a clue.
Oh, man.
He'll be at Petco Park tonight.
Lindor?
Oh, good guess. Not right, but a good guess.
Oh, is it Marte?
Yes, good job. Well
you.
done. Starling Marte, 55 career triples. And Mike Trout, also 55.
How is that possible?
Trout? He's pretty fast.
I know.
Right?
I feel kind of bad for Mike Trout.
Yeah.
Just because he went from being the best player in Major League Baseball to an afterthought. But that's how it goes.
He has raised his average a little, 234. He was down, way down there for a long time. His OPS is still over 800 each of the last 3 years, which makes him a better than average player.
Yeah,
but
he's hitting for power.
You're right. He's not the same as he was. But
that's what happens.
Trout, Trout to me is incredible because I didn't notice it. American League, I just don't get it as much. But MVP, he finished second, first, fourth, second, first. All in succession.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it was a crazy run for Trout. And the WAR statistic has always loved this guy.
Yes,
he was over 10 almost every year.
Yeah.
This year he's 1.1, so they don't love him as much anymore. All right, the candy bar is called Almond Joy.
Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Right.
Sometimes you don't.
I'm bringing it up, and the people who heard the show the last few days are going to know why I'm bringing this up, but you weren't around for this. My buddy, Mike Golovko, who I went to college with.
Golovko.
You know the guy, right? You played golf with him.
Yep.
He also, for fun, has a minor share in 2 thoroughbred racehorses.
Wow.
One of them is a horse named Almond Joy.
Okay.
And it's spelled different. It's O-M space N space Joy.
Copyrights.
Almond Joy. No, it has something to do with the horse's sire, which was Oh,
okay.
All right. So anyway, they because of that, they made it play on the words. They called the horse Almond Joy. Anyway, it ran on Friday night in a stakes race.
Okay.
And Mike invited me out. Said, you got to be with us. You got to see this horse run. She's great.
Okay.
She was great.
Oh, okay.
She crushed the field.
I'm glad that it was that instead of her being terrible.
No, I know. She crushed the field. Her 4th consecutive victory. And she's moving on to bigger and better things. So I was there, Scraby, and I told this to Adam yesterday. I had no money bet on the horse because I didn't want to jinx it. I have no stake in the horse, but I was standing there watching the race with Mike and a couple of the other minor owners and the trainer and all the people connected to the horse. And when this horse broke free and ran down the stretch, I'd never seen happier people in my life. The release and the, to see your horse win that you own, it was incredible.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain. You had to kind of experience it to get it.
I can understand it.
But that was really something. So good for Mike and all those, everybody.
Not that you need to reveal how much money they're making, but
Yeah.
are they making good money off of this horse?
He is now. Yeah, right. The horse earned $85,000 for the win.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And Mike gets a piece of that.
All right. That's
as a minority owner.
Hey.
So he does okay on this one.
Okay.
His other horse has not run yet because of various injuries and things. It's a very difficult game to get into. And
Sure.
I mean, in terms of finding a horse and getting the horse out on the track and into races, and it's really something to win one race, let alone 4 in a row. So it's very exciting.
That is exciting.
But not as exciting as your story. Take us through what happened yesterday on your drive home from the Bay Area.
Well, it's Yosemite area.
Okay. And the police, normally not anybody's friend out there on the highway. But in this case, Scraby, The authorities made your day.
Yes, they did. I have 2 stories, but I'm going to start with this story.
Okay, you got 2 stories. Okay.
Well, I have a kind of a funny story, and you're a dog guy, so you're going to I think you're going to laugh at this. But anyway,
okay.
So we're driving home, and I'm convinced that people are worse drivers than ever before because you just see people doing whatever the heck they want at any moment. I saw someone go on the shoulder because they just didn't want to wait in line for traffic, Chris. So they just drove on the shoulder
While everybody was piled up there.
Yeah.
I know
just
people
drove the shoulder.
No, the laws don't apply to all the people. I don't know if you're aware of that, Scrappy.
I am now.
Yeah, no, there's several people who the laws do not apply to.
Yes,
So,
and for anybody who has listened to this show for a long time, who knows what I'm all about, you know that this is about to be one of the greatest stories of my life.
you're going to be so happy. And when you hear this out there, you're going to be happy for him.
So we're driving. I'm going the speed limit. Everybody's going the speed limit. But there's, of course, someone that's coming running up behind us as fast as possible.
Right.
And I was like, they're going to try and cut in front of me. But I didn't want it because I had my niece in the car. I didn't want to be aggressive. I was going to let them in, whatever.
Okay.
So they didn't just cut me off. They cut the front part of my car off to the point where I had to slam on my brakes and I honked. And the person in the car didn't care, just kept going, weaving in and out.
You mean they didn't ask for you to pull over to the side so they could apologize?
No, but I did have to slam on my brakes because they almost hit us because they thought they had enough space. They did not.
No, and I mean, people weaving in and out 90 miles an hour or more, and I've said it at least 50 times, stop doing that.
Yes, but they're not going to. But I have no idea how this person did not realize that there was a police officer following behind me, like directly behind me. And I knew this for about 10, 15 miles. I knew this police officer was there. So I was on my best behavior.
Yeah, you were being careful.
So they cut me off. I slam on my brakes. I honk. And then I look behind me and I'm like, what did I do? I didn't do anything.
Oh, the lights went on behind you.
Yes, behind me. They went. And I'm like, no, okay, now I got to pull over now because this guy thinks that I was at fault.
This is so unfair. You're thinking you're getting pulled over because you had to hit the brakes.
I had to dodge the person. So I thought I was going to have this whole explanation for the officer, but I pulled over to the next lane. I was going to go into the shoulder. The officer didn't follow me. The officer hit the gas and went after that car.
I love it.
Pulled him over.
I love it. Did you please tell me that once you saw them pulled over, you pulled over about 30 yards ahead of them and got out and did a little dance?
No, you know what we did as a car?
No.
As we passed as the officer passed us, we all looked at the officer and
you applauded
the officer because it was the most instant gratification of what I need on the roads.
That's for that story's for all of us, because every single one of us has seen some idiot drive like that, spin our car around, or cut us off, or go in the wrong lane,
just being an idiot,
or use the
carpool
diamond lane, the
yeah.
carpool lane without having all of this stuff, and there's never a policeman there.
Yeah.
So this time they finally was one there.
It was one there, and they pulled out like immediately. Like
good.
Not even a half second went by. This police officer was my hero. And
that
so
gives me that gives me a little hope in law enforcement and humanity.
It put me in a good mood the rest of the day, Chris.
Sure.
This was like one of the best things that's ever happened to me. And everybody that knows, I want this to happen.
I honestly would have gotten out of the car and done a dance, except for I would have been concerned that the policeman would have gone, all right, pal, get over here, and then cited me for disturbing
dancing?
the peace
No,
or something.
I went on.
But yeah, this is the ultimate in your face moment.
Yes, it's good.
So good
it's
job.
It's so good. All right, quickly the other story.
Thank you for that, policeman.
Yes.
And you know what? I want to say, look, in all seriousness, I mean, we appreciate, the job you guys and gals do out there. It's incredible, really.
Yeah, it's tough.
But we would love it if you could be there every time somebody breaks the law around us.
Just please follow me everywhere.
Just follow Scraby. Yeah,
you'll see
people
all the
breaking
people
the law everywhere. Right?
But we looked at the people going by, and they're like all like, rah, 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 rah. Well, don't be a dummy then. All right, other story. I went to go pick up the dogs from the kennel, and I'm waiting behind this old couple, and they are taking forever. They're confirming appointments for next year. They're doing all this other stuff. I'm like, I just want to get my dogs and go. 10 minutes, Chris, they stood in front of me. 10 minutes. First off, the guy paid $4,000 for his 2 weeks dog stay. And the guy was not happy with his wife for the $4,000 that they owed.
She obviously did not clear that with him.
No, but they were gone for 2 weeks. So they go get their dogs.
Right.
I am standing there. This guy is so excited. He's like, here they come. I'm so excited to see you guys. Both dogs ran to me. Passed him by. And ran up to me like they wanted to play. And the guy was sitting there looking at me like, what is happening to my dogs? And so I felt awkward because this guy's dogs are basically telling him they don't like him.
I think they like him. I think they became confused and disoriented.
I think I was in visual range of the dogs. They were not, but this guy was so upset.
Perhaps you're a dog whisperer.
Maybe
you
dogs
missed your
do love
calling.
me. Dogs do love
Maybe
me.
you missed your calling.
But it was so awkward because the wife was like, over here. I'm over here.
And the dogs were with you.
Yeah, the dogs
Did you
were
have
with
treats
me.
in your pocket potentially? That's always a possibility.
No, I didn't have any treats in my pocket, but I felt like that was a funny story.
We know all dogs go where the treats are.
Well, if my dogs came out and went up to someone else, I would be extremely hurt.
Be a little frustrated.
Anyway.
All right, Big Five is next. We'll get back to some crazy, instead of just crazy stories, crazy sports stories when Gwynn and Chris returns.
Gwynn and Chris on the Fan.
And I'd love to see a healthy 36. More good news surrounding Michael King, who threw a sim game yesterday at Petco Park, came out of it, said he felt 100%. Word now that Michael King will make a rehab start this weekend. If you happen to be in the El Paso area, you may want to go see him pitch. He's going to apparently pitch either Saturday or Sunday for the Chihuahuas. But that is another step toward getting Michael King back in this rotation.
It's almost hard to believe that he's pitched at all this year. It seems like it was so long ago that he did.
It isn't. Well, it is. They need him. And good. The other thing is the whole freak injury, right? It was sleeping. Michael, when you come back, no more sleeping.
Yeah, just don't sleep. Not get a new bed, but just don't sleep.
Well, I mean, I don't know. He can't roll on top of his arm in his sleep. Sorry, we can't have that again.
No, we definitely cannot. And if there's not a mattress place that's giving Michael King a sponsorship, then you're missing out.
A free sponsorship. All right, Scrabe, you ready? Big 5 time yet? No, not yet.
Give me a second.
The show is, I don't know if you've noticed, the show hasn't been as smooth today.
Okay.
Some of the other days.
Just say that.
And, it just,
what?
Well, it's your return day, so you're taking time to
keep
get back
clicking
into
the wrong
fray.
buttons. I keep
pretty much all
cutting
day
Chris off. I keep doing things, it's not good stuff.
All right.
Not
You
good
ready
stuff.
to try the big 5? See if you can handle that?
Yes, in a second. Yes.
Aye.
Is right. Sometimes these video files that I do, we're going to talk about Happy Gilmore 2 at the end of the Big 5. I really enjoyed it.
You were pleased with that?
I did. It's a bad movie, but who cares? That's what it is. All right, we can go to traffic now.
Okay.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
This game day traffic report is brought to you by Crystal Geyser, Alpine Spring Water. Still a number of problems here, guys. One of them is this crash on eastbound 52, right at the southbound 15 connector ramp. A couple of pickups involved in this one. They appear to be blocking the left lane of that ramp. Also, westbound King Freeway, just before the 125 collision, which a vehicle struck the center divide. Southbound 5 in the East Street off-ramp got a stalled SUV, partially in lanes. What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? They always bottle their Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source. And all of their bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from their own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Sorry to inform you, but what I just said about Scraby having a disastrous time in his return to the program is really just happens to be the truth. He's still having technical difficulties with today's Big 5.
Yes.
And I can tell you in advance that there's going to be more difficulties once the Big 5 starts.
All right, I think we're ready, Chris.
Don't miss this.
I think we're ready for it.
What a God. Where's Adam when you need him?
It's that time of the show when we check on the latest in sports. Only the most important topics and questions are brought to light.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
These news stories will astound and amaze you. The one, the only.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
The Big 5 starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
Well, it is very, very fitting on the day I get back. I closed out my tab while we were going into the segment, and then I had to log back in. So give me a second as I go through all of this.
We didn't see mistakes like these the last 3 shows.
Yeah, I'm sure you didn't. All right, this hour at 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by Staples. Calling all parents and teachers at Staples. Your back-to-school budget is officially saved by the button. The easy button, with supplies as low as 25 cents plus laptops up to 40% off and more deals on top brands and trending styles. Find it all at Staples. That was easy.
They have that too.
Chris is hellbent on getting this.
That was the original
back.
tagline that they have Staples also.
He is hellbent on getting this tag, which is not a bad tagline.
Not a bad tagline.
That was good.
Yeah. All right, let's just start with
I
a
just want
very.
you to know, Scraby, I am on camera.
Oh,
wanted you to
okay. Let me
go
take
ahead
care
and
of that.
put it in the 3.
You know,
Not
nothing
that
like
one,
a
not
good,
quite right there.
nothing
There,
like a
almost
good on-show
We're almost there. We
adjustment.
go.
But I gotta put Gwynn over here, so he's looking at Chris. There we go.
Oh, okay. There you go.
All
now
right.
we're ready.
Number 5.
I love the people driving along right now going, what are they doing?
I've actually talked to people about this, and they some people go and look and see. So if you want to, go to YouTube, search 97.3 The Fan.
I think our listeners, not just our listeners in general now, I think
they're pretty aware.
They got to adjust to the new day and age here.
Now, fair enough.
They want my ugly mug. For
Chris,
some reason
this
on
is like
YouTube.
this is like the new version of a simulcast, right? Like remember Vin used to do radio and TV and kind of had to like mirror the two. This is kind of that.
Okay. I'm up for it.
Well, it's been going on for like almost 2 years.
I also don't
now.
really have much of a choice. Scraby's going to be doing all these maneuverings and machinations on live radio.
Okay. Total me question. I'm just moving forward. But last night, Elias Diaz walked it off for the Padres, and for one night, he was the hero.
Is this the 5th question?
Yes.
Is this the question number 1? All right.
Yes. For the season, and Tony, you're up first, and it's a really difficult question for you to answer, I think. For the season, he is hitting 200 with a 570 OPS. How many moments does a guy like Elias Diaz need to make the rest of the season, quote unquote, worth it in your eyes as a fan? Let me ask that again. How many times does he need to be the hero to make the rest of the season worth it in your eyes as a fan, Tony?
Yeah, I'm perplexed by the question as well, Tony. So,
okay, last night he was great. He was a hero. But we complain about it like 99% of the time. So if he has 3 walk-off hits during the year, are we allowed to complain about the rest of the season?
I think he could have 20 walk-off hits, and people would still complain at the end of the day if his numbers don't stand up to whatever their standard is of the catcher should be. I don't know. It's really hard to answer this question. How many walk-offs can he have before?
Or moments.
Or moments.
Like throwing out a guy at second to
How many does he have right now?
I think 1.
No, that's not true. He hit a 2-run home run. He had a 2-run home run and a 2-0 win at Detroit this year. I think he's played excellent defense. In fact, I would even argue that he's played better defensively a lot of times than Martin Maldonado has. I think Mike Schilt likes Martin Maldonado because he's a coach out there on the field, and the two of them think, along the same lines. But look, that was a great moment for Diaz. You got to give him one. It's been a tough year for him. I don't think he wants to hit 200. He's a former All-Star. He knows he's a better hitter than this, but at the same time, he's the number 9 guy in your lineup. How many number 9 guys are contributing game-winning hits around baseball? It doesn't happen often, Tony, right?
Thank you for stepping in there because I was just kind of lost.
Yeah, right.
Answer that question.
I knew going into
crazy,
it.
Yeah,
I knew going into it was going to be tough.
I think Chris has made a good case. I think, listen, he's hitting 20 points less than Kyle Higashioka. The difference is Kyle had how many homers. He had 12 more homers than Diaz does right now. And so I guess if we're quantifying it by that, I mean, he needs about 7 more moments.
I can tell you he's going to have 2 more home run moments because he's on pace to do 1 home run a month, and he's been doing it all season.
All right,
so
here's a new thing. For the rest of the season, I'm going to start tracking moments. And this is going to be a Gwynn and Chris stat, the moments. Stats. All right. Thank you for entertaining that question.
Chris disappeared for some reason. I don't know if he
What
just
happened to
decided
Chris?
because the computer ran out of battery that he's got here. So we're going to have – yes, it did. I swear to God it did. It said it was about to run out, and then I looked over, and it was out. So, I mean, this is – okay, see, when I say machinations, this is what I mean. We're in the middle of the Big Five. We're actually doing something that's hopefully entertaining the listeners, and you're over here on the side – doing technical work.
Machinations.
And by the way, those who are watching only got to see a black screen, and then they were watching Scraby's elbow for like the past 15 seconds as well. So it's just been great across the board.
Yes, we're also going to run over on the Big Five, which is going to be 100% your fault.
Did you guys just wake up and say today Scraby's back? We're going to give the last 4 days back to him.
No, you know what happened is we woke up and Scraby was actually here, and so all this stuff just kind of happens naturally now because you're back.
I'd agree, man.
It totally does.
Yeah, the days of smoothness are long gone. Back to normal. Are we going to get to number 4 in this lifetime? Or?
4.
Okay.
All right. My goodness. I don't even know if I clicked this.
Number 4.
But 49ers aside, I will not give my opinion on this. Cornerback Charvarius Ward admits he did not play his best in 2024, his final year with the 49ers, feeling slighted by the refusal of a contract extension he believed he earned. He now is on the Indianapolis Colts after leaving in free agency. And for a little background, he did have his 2-year-old pass away suddenly in October of last year. So he does say something about that. I want to give background. Quote, even before everything happened with my baby, I really wasn't super motivated because after the year I had in 23, I wanted a contract extension because I wanted to stay, and I knew I wasn't getting a contract offer. They came to me and kind of told me what it was because they had other people to pay, so it kind of had me in my feelings a little bit. I just never made it public. I was hurt when I realized I wasn't getting a contract extension or even an offer for an extension, so I wasn't motivated. From like OTAs all the way through camp, I was kind of pissed off. I knew when the season started, it was a wrap for me in the Bay. Chris, do you think that he should have said this?
Now?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, he wants to tell his new team, why he's going to be way better this season. So, that to me comes off as in his mind, a fair explanation. I don't know that it is a fair explanation. I think your job as a professional athlete is to leave your contract stuff at home and go out on the field and compete because you are competing for the guys that are lining up next to you. And so I think this says a little something about him. And hopefully if he has to do it over again, he'll do it differently. On the other side, say whatever he wants. If your child passed away during the season,
totally get it.
My goodness. I don't even know how he was showing up to play on Sunday afternoons. That would be devastating to anybody. So, I'm going to throw him a grain of salt on all counts here and hopefully with a clean slate. After the first game of the season, because they play the Dolphins, he'll play well.
Always comes back to the Dolphins.
That's right, yeah.
Tony, do you think he should have said this in retrospect?
Yeah, I mean, this is you hope that this is growth, right? I think he acknowledged that he was in his feelings and that he wasn't a pro. He didn't use those words. He said motivated, but I think he ultimately knows that that wasn't the best way to go about it. I think that's why he's actually talking about it publicly. And I think this is just kind of the human element. Not everyone is good at being professional when their feelings get involved. Yeah. I think that's honestly most of us. When you allow your emotions and your feelings to get involved on business, it affects you. And it's no different to me than, a guy struggling and it not looking happy to be out there, right? I mean, these are in a perfect world. Chris is absolutely right. And there are guys who execute it well, who can, push aside feelings and just show up, be a pro. But not everybody's good at that. And I would say that he's not the first, and he certainly won't be the last to go through that. And that's not even to mention the fact that he lost a child early part of the season, really. And so, I'm with Chris. I'm going to give him a pass. I think he's talking about this because I think he wants to be better moving forward.
All right. No, I totally would be the guy to say all this too. I would be like, I get why he said it. I do.
Well, you bring your feelings to the show every day, so you should totally understand this.
I totally understand it. I mean, it's a daily occurrence with me sticking my foot in my mouth or admitting something. So I just hope he's more at peace with everything.
That's not easy.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
Number 3.
We all know the Browns have their struggles when it comes to making decisions as it regards to player decisions, and owner Jimmy Haslam wants everyone to know He did not draft Shedeur Sanders. Here he is with the media today talking about it.
We have good process, okay? And if you'd have told me, let's see, we picked him on Saturday, right? Friday night driving home, y'all are going to pick Shedeur, I would say that's not happening. But we had a conversation early that morning, and then we had a conversation later that day. I think we had the right people involved in the conversation. At the end of the day, that's Andrew Berry's call. Andrew made the call to pick Shedeur, just like who's going to start or what play we're going to call is Kevin's call. But that's Andrew's call. He made the call.
And basically, he said it was the GM's call.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you couldn't hear. I'm not sure why you couldn't hear.
That's all right.
We're back at work, everybody. Tony, what is he telling us here?
That y'all need to stop making up stuff in the media. Or not even, this wasn't even, I don't even know that this was a media narrative. I just think this was it got posted that they drafted him. And so everybody just starts, people just make up stuff in 2025. They've been making up stuff for quite a long time. And listen, I don't think owners have any problem. We watch Jerry Jones all the time tell us the decisions that he's making and the buck stops with him. Owners don't have problems doing that when it's actually true. Just listening to him talk, he don't seem like the type that is involved with actual personnel. Now, when it comes to paying the very most money, yeah, you're gonna have to bring that to his attention. Like if he's about to pay a whole 100% non-guaranteed or all guaranteed, fully guaranteed contract, yes, he's gonna be involved in that decision. But I don't think he's involved in terms of what was Shedeur pick? What round was that? The
Sixth. Yeah.
Fifth round. I don't think he's involved in that. I believe him when he says that was left up to the powers
Andrew
that
Berry.
be in terms of Andrew Berry. There you
go. Chris, what does he mean here? Like, what is he trying to tell us?
I think the one thing he's trying to tell us is that if Shedeur Sanders doesn't work out and ends up to be a bust off the field, this time it's not his fault.
I was just about to bring up the fact
that's the only thing I can think of.
I did not draft Shedeur Sanders, but I did pay Deshaun Watson over $200 million fully guaranteed.
Right. So I think it's just a preemptive strike. But at the same time, I'm also surprised that he cares at all, because anybody that could originally sign Deshaun Watson can't possibly care what anybody else thinks.
That's a good point.
So
NFL was quite mad at him after he did that.
Yeah.
But I thought it was funny. He was like, I didn't draft him, okay?
All right.
Number 2.
And
it's funny I didn't even think of that until you guys just said that.
Yeah. I can't hear his name without thinking about Deshaun Watson.
And all the other terrible decisions he's made over the years.
Quite a few.
I guess that makes some sense.
The Braves and Reds are going to be playing in front of a lot of people on Saturday. On August 2nd, they'll face off at Bristol Motor Speedway, one of my favorite tracks in the country for NASCAR. And it's the first ever American or National League game in Tennessee, which I think is kind of fun. They have sold more than 85,000 tickets to this, and that will break the record of 84,587 set on September 12th, 1954, when Cleveland Stadium hosted the Yankees.
Okay.
Fans have purchased tickets from all 50 states, Washington, D.C., Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and 9 countries on 4 continents. So, Chris, do these destination games add any value for you?
Not anymore. I thought it was great. I don't know who we should thank for this. Was the NHL the first to say we're going to play an outdoor game? Because when they did that, everybody was into it. Now they still do it, and I don't know that people follow it as closely. A lot of college teams started playing in indoor teams were playing in football stadiums. I know, wasn't the Nebraska volleyball or something drew 100,000 people at the football stadium to see a volleyball match. So I think there's some interest here. I don't have a whole lot of interest because I think if I was one of the 87,000 people in Bristol, I probably wouldn't be able to see the game too well. Other than to be able to say I was there. People do kind of like that.
It's a very small stadium.
87,000 people,
but the track is like only a half mile around, so it's called the last great Coliseum or something.
I'm not against this because this is happening in all sports, including the opposite, where NASCAR is coming here to San Diego next June on the naval base in Coronado to run
No
one of their
permits
races.
needed for that.
Yeah, so people can have at it, and it sells out every time, so they might as well keep doing it.
Tony, do these Okay, so let me change the question for Tony.
Why are you changing the question
All
for
right,
me?
fine. Do these games add any additional value for you?
Zero.
I knew that was the case.
Zero value.
I knew it. Yeah,
I
but
mean,
you're right. I just don't.
At this point, I mean, maybe you guys can give me some other reasons other than making a whole bunch of money at a new site. I can't think of another reason why it would be like these aren't. I don't consider these new eyeballs to the game. I think there's some crossover with NASCAR and baseball, so I don't know that this is bringing any new fans to the.
I thought hockey outside brought a lot of new fans to hockey because they wanted to see it. But Tony's right. Is this going to really raise baseball's profile?
No, it's just going to make them a lot of money.
It's a cool thing. Don't get me wrong. Like they're going to have a game at a NASCAR track, but I don't know that
the field looks cool too.
I bet.
Yeah, all of it looks cool.
Still 90 feet on the bases, right?
Yes.
It's no different when they go out to the Field of Dreams, right? That's super cool as well. But like, at least there's some like nostalgia to that game because they certainly. I don't know how much money they're making. There's not that many seats in that place.
Yeah, that's
here
true.
You got 86,000, which is bigger than pretty much all of the baseball stadiums now that we don't have a Coliseum in the mix anymore. And so, yeah, I think this is just about, making some loot.
My other question was how stressed out would Dave Marcus be knowing that he had to do a game on Friday in a stadium, go travel to the Bristol Motor Speedway, set up, and then go back on Sunday? I don't even know if they're playing 2 games. I'm not even sure, but
I'm pretty sure he's sweating just thinking about it.
I would be. So honestly, this would be a lot for anyone.
Number 1.
All right. I haven't talked to you guys about this, but did you guys watch Happy Gilmore 2?
Yeah, not yet.
I haven't watched it yet.
Okay, well, I did first thing Friday morning. I was very excited, and I loved it for what it was. I never expected an Oscar-worthy movie, but critics are just destroying the movie for being a money grab and being terrible. So, Tony, why do critics always review every fun movie in a terrible way?
First of all, Adam Sandler does not need money. This is not a money grab. This movie has taken
need money.
He doesn't. He's worth so much money.
This movie has been in the works for I don't know how many, how long. I've been hearing about it forever. So it's not like they just scrounged up some actors and was like, let's go ahead and get this money and then make this movie real quick, right? I mean, I from what I've heard, it stands up as being a good sequel. It wasn't like, as you said,
it's not an Oscar movie,
Emmy award.
Yeah,
it's not. It's none of that. But it's an Adam Sandler flick.
And the cameos are just amazing.
That would be fun in itself.
I haven't heard a bad thing from anybody who's seen it yet.
All right, Xander Schauffele has some of the best cameo. He has one of the best cameos in the entire movie. I can't wait for you guys to see it. Chris, why do you're a film guy?
I'm a film critic.
I hate when people say film.
I'm a film.
My wife is a film critic too.
Yeah.
I don't like the word film.
We don't even get to see movies that have bad ratings most of the time.
Yeah, you'll never see Happy Gilmore 2 then.
Well, your answer,
Chris, what is your opinion on Happy Gilmore 2?
Because the film critics want to try to show you how smart they are, and that's what most of them do. I'm going to give you a short answer so that you can get out of this segment somewhat on time.
All right, thank you. I can't wait for you guys to watch this movie because Xander Schauffele had me laughing out loud.
Yeah, critics though have never stopped people from watching movies. I mean, be honest about it. All of the Marvel, movies, right, and the comics and the DC, all of that stuff, that universe. How many people go to those movies? Millions and millions of dollars they make. The critics never like any of them.
That's true.
So then we don't listen.
So hoity-toity critics.
Good point.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for the Big Five. When we get back, I forgot what we were doing for a second, but we're going to
count up all the mistakes you made during the
knock it off the rust here.
Game 2 between the Mets and the Padres on 97.3 Fan.
Hey guys, did you know that half of men over age 50 have erectile dysfunction on some level? Whether you have mild, moderate, or severe ED, West Coast Men's Health can help. We don't prescribe pills and hope they work.
What are we doing, guys?
I'm going to see the museum for the first time ever. It's going to be sweet. See my dad's plaque. See where Trevor's plaque is going to be. It's going to be pretty dope.
Chris,
I'm going to go to the Hall of Fame for the second time because I went earlier today, but I'm going in to see Tony go into the Hall of Fame. So all the way straight and back left.
Straight back left.
Straight on that back wall.
This one?
Yeah.
How you feeling, Tony?
I don't know how I'm feeling right now, honestly.
Excited?
I'm definitely excited. Hello, Eric. How you doing? Pretty good.
Wow. Just like I told you, next to the famous Barney Dreyfus and Leslie Wilkinson, whoever they are.
That does look like them.
I know. It's a good shot. They don't do them all that great. That one's good. Really good.
I missed a year. 300. Must have been bad. Huh? I used to be. Not anymore, though.
Oh, it's so cool. What team did you play on?
I can give you a long list of them. Brewers, Padres, Dodgers, Phillies, Nationals.
What position did you play?
I played outfield. This was my dad.
There.
Oh, there's Dick Williams, Goose.
And what, on TV?
I think he'd be pretty happy with his company over here or something.
What are you thinking of seeing it for the first time?
I'm thinking
I'm hot. I'm quite warm right now, but it's cool. I mean, it's what I thought it was going to be. I mean, not too many people can say they have a dad that's enshrined in this place, so I think this is awesome.
What are we doing, guys?
I'm going to see the museum for the first time ever. It's going to be sweet. See my dad's plaque. See where Trevor's plaque is going to be. It's going to be pretty dope.
Chris,
I'm going to go to the Hall of Fame for the second time because I went earlier today, but I'm going in to see Tony go into the Hall of Fame. So all the way straight and back left.
Straight back left.
Straight on that back wall.
This one?
Yeah.
How you feeling, Tony?
I don't know how I'm feeling right now, honestly.
Excited?
I'm definitely excited. Hello, Eric. How you doing? Pretty good.
Wow. Just like I told you, next to the famous Barney Dreyfus and Leslie Wilkinson, whoever they are.
That does look like them.
I know. It's a good shot. They don't do them all that great. That one's good. Really good.
I missed a year. 300. Must have been bad. Huh? I used to be. Not anymore, though.
Oh, it's so cool. What team did you play on?
I can give you a long list of them. Brewers, Padres, Dodgers, Phillies, Nationals.
What position did you play?
I played outfield. This was my dad.
There.
Oh, there's Dick Williams, Goose.
And what, on TV?
I think he'd be pretty happy with his company over here or something.
What are you thinking of seeing it for the first time?
I'm thinking
I'm hot. I'm quite warm right now, but it's cool. I mean, it's what I thought it was going to be. I mean, who
To go.
Happy hour gets underway. Gwynn and Chris, 5:06 the time. Happy Hour brought to you by GL Pools. They are the swimming pool experts. Trusted by thousands of San Diegans since 2006. Baseball season is in full swing. So is swim season, called GL Pools. Mention radio. That'll get you a free month of pool service. Pretty good deal there. Buster Olney from ESPN, not Buster Polney, but Buster Olney, on the show a little earlier. You'll hear from him in the this hour before we send it to Sam Levitt's Padre pregame show. Buster with all the latest on the baseball trade deadline. And some interesting thoughts as well about Bryce Harper confronting the commish. So we'll hear from Buster in just a bit. Couple of quick scores. I'm rooting for the Dodgers. Scraby's rooting for the Reds. Now, I know I'm not supposed to root for the Dodgers, but remember, a Reds loss gives the Padres a chance to extend their lead in the wild card. 2-0 Dodgers right now in the top of the fourth. Cody Bellinger, 3-run homers, tied it up for the Yankees, 3-3 with Tampa Bay. Arizona 2-2 with Detroit. Toronto 2-2 with Baltimore. Baltimore won the opener of that doubleheader, then traded relief pitcher Sir Anthony Dominguez to Toronto between games. And Dominguez, I would imagine, is in a Blue Jay uniform for the second game of that doubleheader. There are no other trades that have been made today. The strongest rumor out there, if you're into such things, Dylan Cease to the Astros. That is a Ken Rosenthal specialty, by the way, so don't shoot the messenger. Yes, a couple of other, that hasn't happened. I'm just saying it's a rumor. Twins put Byron Buxton. Is it Brian or
Byron?
Yeah. 10-day IL for him, rib cage injury. A's put their great young shortstop, Jacob Wilson, on the injured list today with a fractured arm. No good. Eugenio Suarez avoided fracturing his finger last night when he got hit by a pitch, and he was in the lineup tonight. Not only is Hyun Kim, the Dodger infielder, on the injured list, but I also saw that Haslam Kim is on the injured list.
I saw that too.
It's been a completely lost year for Haslam Kim, I must say.
I mean, he didn't even start playing until maybe early June, end of May?
Yeah, it's unfair, to be critical. He's been hurt all year,
and they knew that.
But the Padres, I know a lot of fans felt like they'd miss him. Haven't really missed him. Veteran pitcher Rich Hill, already DFA'd by the Royals after 2 starts. Dick Mountain.
I'm sorry, Hassan Kim made his debut on July 4th.
Hassan Kim.
I gave him more games. Yeah.
So July 4th, and now he's back on the injured list.
I guess that's
already,
kind of a thing that happens with injured players, but you got to play.
It's just been that, it has not been a good year for old Hassan Kim, our friend there. One football note, which is I think worth mentioning here, Scrape. Cincinnati Bengals could be closing in on a resolution with holdout defensive end Trey Hendrickson. That's a big one. Hendrickson led the league in sacks last year.
Yeah.
How do you like what it's all about our teams, but the Dolphins bring what's his name out of retirement, the tight end Darren Waller. And before he even shows up to training camp, they put him on the unable to perform list.
The pup.
Yeah. I just teams are just sometimes like dumb, aren't they?
I know what the pup list, like there's some roster stuff, but
yeah, it basically just means you're hurt and you can't play.
And so you get a roster spot, right?
It's a different list. Yeah. Brock Purdy in the news today, Scrape.
I'm sorry, what?
Did you hear that?
What?
Well, you better get a card. You better send some flowers.
Oh, he had a kid.
Brock Purdy and his wife Jenna.
His wife had the kid.
Welcoming their first child.
I like Brock.
Jenna Purdy. And I know you like Brock, and he makes a lot of money now.
Oh, man, at the family reunion, Chris, there was many conversations about the 49ers, and I'm convinced they're going to be terrible. My uncle is like, they're going to be so good this year. I'm like, how? Who do they have? They don't even have Brandon Ayuk, who they gave all that money to. They got rid of all their defensive players. They have to rely on rookies. It was a big family reunion.
I did see a fan. You know, it's getting to that time where you start to see the fantasy football projections.
Oh yeah.
Top running back this year projection.
Not Christian McCaffrey.
No, Bijan Robinson.
Okay.
Number 2, and this is, I don't know what list this was, but I saw it. Achan, the Dolphins. I wouldn't put him quite that high.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't put Christian McCaffrey 5th ever. I don't care what injuries might be coming off of.
That's the thing.
So we'll see. Those lists will change, you know, between now and draft day. As it were for the for us fantasy players.
Before we go to break, I don't think you heard it when I came in. I was trying to get an update on Dylan Cease's head because he took that grounder off of his head last night, and Mike Schilt talked about it. Did you think that Dylan Cease was coming out of the game, Chris? Because I definitely did.
I was shocked that he did not come out of the game.
I mean,
guy gets hit in the head with a line drive or even a line drive ground ball.
Yeah.
Hit that hard, I expect they're coming out of the game.
So here is Dylan Cease update, Michael King update.
It was mentioned last night that Dylan Cease might get some imaging just to make sure everything goes okay after getting to the back of the head. Was that done and everything came back normal?
It was done, and thankfully it was negative, which is clearly positive. And, outside of the feeling of, he got hit in the head and the discomfort there. But anything as far as anything of like swelling or bleeding has been eliminated, which is clearly good.
Any word yet on Michael King, how he came out of his simulated game yesterday?
Yeah, I talked to Michael today and is in very good spirits. They're very excited and came out in a good spot, really good spot. And, we're talking about what's next, and what next looks like we're figuring out the day, Saturday or Sunday, but we're figuring out, but looking like him being able to get out there and getting a rehab assignment, likely at AAA.
Good stuff. And we talked about King rehab maybe this weekend in El Paso.
Yes. But glad that Dylan Cease is okay.
Yeah, sure. Got hit pretty hard on that.
Scared me.
On that one hopper back to the mound last night.
I did think that was a very baseball thing, though, where in any other sport, someone gets hit in the head like that, they're coming out. But baseball, it's like, you're good. Keep pitching, buddy. I'm not saying that he's hurt or he has a concussion.
I don't think they would have taken any chances.
I don't think so.
I'll
either.
be honest with you. Come on.
But that's what I like about baseball.
Well, okay.
You can get hit in the head.
They don't mind putting you in harm's way.
I guess not. Okay.
All right. Break time. Traffic time. Buster Olney with all the latest. Anything you need to know about this trade deadline that's 48 hours away when we return.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center.
Okay, I'm nervous. Stand up, stay low. Hands on the heart. Stay low. I shouldn't have told you not to count down. That was pretty fucking awesome. Okay, take goggles down to your neck. Crash landed, huh? What? We're gonna crash land. More or less. We're gonna hit the ground. Keep my knee. Don't worry about it. Pick up. Punch up. Right on all the way down. Right, right. All the way. Here we go. Up there. Oh, you idiot. Typical tandem student right there. I tried. I wrecked your good job, buddy. Fun, huh? You need help with anything? Okay, I'm nervous. Stand up, stay low. Hands on the heart. Stay low.
off the countdown. That was pretty fucking awesome. Okay, take goggles down to your neck.
All right, back in action here. 5:22. Gwynn and Chris, 97.3 The Fan. Tony, Jesse, they got the ball game tonight. Sam Levitt's got the pregame show in about 20. We got Buster Olney for you in just a second. Good on the Cubs. They already today unveiled a ceremonial patch on their uniforms day after the death of Ryne Sandberg. So they're wearing that patch tonight on their uniforms in Milwaukee, where they had a moment of silence for the former great Chicago Cub. That's an important game and series. Cubs and Brewers tied at 1 in the third inning. Schwarb bomb. Phillies lead the White Sox 6-0 in the third. Alcantara's pitching for Miami, 2-0 at St. Louis, leading. Everybody's keeping an eye on him. Dodgers and Reds are now tied at 2 in the bottom of the fourth. And somebody is going to lose, right? So that'll help the Padres one way or the other. Tampa Bay and the Yankees 3-3. Detroit's opened up 7-2 on Arizona. Toronto, Baltimore 2-2. Baltimore won the first game of that doubleheader. All right. No trades today other than Sir Anthony Dominguez going from Baltimore to Toronto.
Which the video was really hilarious because he walked by the bullpen of his former team and they were like, hey.
Hey, nice to know you. But yeah, the deadline is less than 48 hours now. So the next couple of days should be crazy, but nothing to report now. Buster Olney discussing with Tony and I what could be coming up.
Buster Olney, our friend of the show, ESPN. You see him often on the sidelines. Buster, how are you, man? Thanks for coming on today.
My head is spinning. What day is it? What century is it? You get it motivated. Reminds me of being back in college, and you're studying for a final exam, and your head just full of facts and figures and names and all kinds of things. And as I'm saying this, I probably not an apt comparison because I didn't do well in college. I promise you.
Well, listen,
welcome to the club.
That makes a couple.
And we've all been incredibly successful. So there you go.
Buster, I mean, when do you think the first real domino will fall? Because it just seems like right now, I mean, the deadline's Thursday. We're 48 hours out. I mean, at what point do you think the first big domino falls?
Yeah, it's like if there was a poker game and every round, everybody around the table is going, check, check, check. And that's the way it feels. I texted with an executive earlier today who's involved in the starting pitching market, and I asked him about a couple of guys, and he was like, it's a slow developing market. I think that, eventually there's going to be a barrage of deals. I mean, the dam is backed up. All of these contenders are looking for relief pitching. There's going to be a million of those, I think, that get traded between now and the deadline. I think the starting pitching market, eventually some of these teams that, are holding out hope that maybe the price comes down on Joe Ryan of the Twins, or maybe the price comes down on Dylan Cease. They will start to grab guys like Charlie Morton of the Baltimore Orioles, guys who are more like 3 and 4s versus guys who could start game 1, game 2 of the playoffs. I would not be surprised if later tonight we start to see that barrage, because at some point you got to get business done. The Orioles have 6 guys they want to trade. The Tampa Bay Rays might wind up trading 4 guys. The Diamondbacks, have 3-4 guys to go. So it's coming.
Buster Olney, of course, is with us, and we're giving him a rest so that he doesn't have to call a bunch of general managers for the next 15 minutes. Buster, you mentioned Cease. He's been wildly inconsistent this year, although the strikeouts are there.
Yeah.
Let's ask from the Padres' perspective, though. If they parted with Cease, and it does seem to be heating up, what do they do, or what do they need back to make it make sense for a team that is still leading the wild card in the National League.
Yeah, major league controllable players.
Yeah.
Who can help them right away. I agree, Chris, with what you're just saying. You didn't know if the Padres are necessarily going for prospects. They're not. They're in a win-now window. They have an older team, generally speaking, with a rotation that's got to turn over in the next couple of years, and they need assets that can help them right now. They can't wait. And so, based on my conversations with other teams, what they're telling me is, and I'm just pulling names out of the air, okay? I'm not saying that the Padres are interested in these guys. Luis Angel Acuna of the Mets, Brett Beatty of the Mets, Mark Vientos of the Mets. Those type of guys who would be under team control for a few years. The issue with Cease is that while he is generally regarded as a high-end starting pitcher because he throws really hard, he misses bats. You guys know better than I do. It hasn't been a great year for him.
No,
he hasn't been dominant, and the perception of other teams is that the Padres want to get paid in return. We're looking for a return that reflects him as a frontline, number one type starter versus what we've seen this year, and that. And I think other teams are wondering if we get closer to the deadline, will the Padres blink and come down a little bit, or will there be a team that'll blink and say, yes, we're desperate because the starting pitching market is so thin. We're desperate to pay the Padres what they're looking for. But they're looking for guys who can help them this year.
Yeah, it's going to be so interesting, especially from that standpoint, because the other thing that Dylan Cease does is he pitches every fifth day. This dude is one of the top innings eaters in all of baseball.
Yep.
Not throwing the ball that great this year, but certainly has some other attributes that is like. Buster Olney joins us here. And Buster, what about a team like the Atlanta Braves? I mean, Alex Fantabulous said earlier, maybe about a month ago, that this team would not sell under any circumstance. And I took that with a caveat, and not sell maybe the core, but there's certainly some pieces that I would think that they are looking to possibly move. I mean, whether it be to the Padres or anybody for that matter.
Yeah, they're going to move a couple of bullpen guys before the deadline. Raisel Iglesias will wind up landing with another team in this a game of musical chairs with relievers among the contenders. But a guy, that I think makes some sense on paper for the Padres is Marcell Ozuna. Okay, he was an MVP candidate in 2024. There's a perception among scouts that maybe he hurt his hip early in the year. He hasn't been as good. He's got a really high watt rate, but he hasn't done as much damage. And right after the All-Star break, Brian Snitker, the manager of the Braves, who's always, basically based his lineup choices on, who's hitting well and who's not, they benched Ozuna. And they're playing their two catchers, Sean Murphy and Drake Baldwin, sharing the catching spot with the DH spot, and that's what the future is. Ozuna's contract runs out at the end of this year. He's going to be a free agent. He's owed, as we speak, about $5.25 million for the rest of the year. I suspect that whether it's the Padres or some other team, the Braves would eat most of that money. Look, it's a sunk cost for them. They're not going to get anything in return. You basically could get Marcell Ozuna for free if you're comfortable with the lack of positional flexibility, which has become a big thing in baseball that, we're seeing it with the Yankees. Aaron Judge is hurt. He comes back as a DH. What does Giancarlo Stanton do? That can cause some problems. But if you're the Padres and you're looking for a guy who could give you some thump and you don't necessarily want to give up a bunch of prospects, resources to get him, Ozuna is a really interesting name to me.
Buster Olney is with us. Buster, we got you on a day where a lot of other things are happening. So I'm going to take a little break from the trade deadline stuff because it's, as you said, it's all kind of guesswork at this point. But I think that story yesterday with Bryce Harper facing off against Rob Manfred is a big deal, because maybe it even translates all the way out to people thinking that there will be a work stoppage. I mean, the players – Bryce Harper said it. We are not even going to let you say the word salary cap. And we know that that's going to be on the other side. So talk a little bit about that, what that face-to-face confrontation kind of signals for everybody.
So first and foremost, I think it's great that Bryce Harper spoke up. and he spoke his truth to power. The union clearly needs more of that. Look, Anthony knows probably better than anyone. His dad didn't always have the warmest relationship with the union leadership, but when it came to labor stuff, he was absolutely out there and willing to say what he thought in support of the Players Association. And so I think it's good when Bryce Harper does this. I think that I will say, I think this is being misinterpreted to some degree. The notion that Bryce Harper is speaking on behalf of a wide swath of players. I think he's speaking on behalf of the Scott Boras clients and maybe some other guys. But personally, this whole issue really reminds me of the PED conversation back in the late 90s, okay? Where, you know, the union leadership, Don Fehr, Gene Orza, just pounded the table. We're never going to have testing, privacy rights. You know, the leaders among the players would scream the same thing when you talk to them. And then when you talk to individual players privately, they kind of whisper in your ear, you know what? We kind of need testing. Because they didn't want they didn't want to have to deal with that question. And in 2002, Joe Girardi, Todd Zeal, other guys told Fehr and Orza, look, we need testing. And here we are. This thing that the union leadership said would never happen, that's where we are. And now, with a salary cap, you know, you get a Bryce Harper saying what he said. Max Scherzer probably feels the same way. When I talk to individual players, rank and file, you get a lot of, hey, wait a second. If this means more money for more players, why don't we talk about it? And why don't we get some information on it? I personally think, and today I've spent a lot of time talking with people on the union side saying, look, you know, what would you read on what Bryce said? And a lot of people are saying the union leadership needs to educate itself on what a salary cap would look like, because they need to articulate to the players why they don't want it, because there are going to be a ton of guys whose perspective is, if we can make more money for more guys, why not talk about it?
Interesting. From our guy, Buster Olney.
I have lots of thoughts we need to explore one day.
We'll check them out tomorrow. Scrape, we're on after the game tomorrow. There's a day game tomorrow. So after the game, post-game, Sam Levitt, then post-game with us. Tomorrow night be a good night to tune in because we'll be here till 6. Scrape, you'll be here till 7 or whatever that is. I think we'll both be here till 7. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll both.
Anyway,
we'll figure it out.
The trade deadline will be the trade deadline eve tomorrow night. So there's got to be some action. One thing that is action, Sir Anthony Dominguez is coming into the game for Toronto against the team that he started the day with.
Is awesome.
In Baltimore. They traded him between games, and now he's coming in to pitch against Baltimore.
Wow, that is crazy. That is a weird situation.
That's crazy. Reds lead the Dodgers 3-2. Ohtani 0 for 3 with 3 Ks. Stay tuned, everyone, for Padre baseball in the pregame. For Scraby, Tony, Chris, and Kyle.
Kyle.
Have a good day.